High snap, play action, Nichols underneath, caught, gets away from one tackler, gets away from two tacklers, down the sidelines, one man to beat, stutter step, getting away to the end zone, number 8, Dylan Talley, touchdown, Bowie.
Robertson in motion, Craven's back to pass, goes across the middle, Ghostin holds it in, he's gonna go to the touchdown, to the house, Cravens to Ghostin, Colt, touchdown!
As a tight end, pulls a guard, Barrett finds the hole, follows the pulling guard, cuts outside, bounces outside to the 20, 10, 15, 5, touchdown, Bowers, touchdown, Bowie!
And folks, we have history at Haltom. Danny Bustamante has just pitched a no-hit, no-run, no-walk shutout. A perfect game for Danny Bustamante.
Rios looks at Alvarado and turns home. It's going to that left field gap. That's a base hit. Here comes Axel Alvarado. The Colts are going to take the lead in the top of the 7th on the base hit by Gannon Howard. Burkle out of position. They've got to pass, and they've got to go! Patomeco with the pass. Narario has a bit of a look. Shot on goal, and he gets it in! Two tight end set here as we go to the left-hand side with B.J. Rogers. Rogers is into the second level. B.J. Rogers to midfield. One man trying to catch up to him, but he will not. Number 6 in for 6. That will do it.
This broadcast is under intellectual property and may not be repurposed or reproduced without express written consent. Enjoy this presentation from Zach Arnold Productions, Energetic Media Solutions.
Fans, welcome into Choctaw Stadium. We are experiencing a few technical mishaps as we get ready to begin tonight's game. We appreciate your patience as we work to resolve these situations. And we will have kickoff shortly here at Choctaw between the Bowie Volunteers and the Lamar Vikings. Zach Arnold and Jot Holly working quickly to troubleshoot and bring you a quick and swift resolution as soon as we are able. In the meantime, we appreciate your patience as Lamar honors their seniors on senior night. We'll be back as soon as we can. John Wade Roofing is celebrating 40 years serving the Arlington area. John Sr. played for Colt football and was the team MVP in '76. He went on to play for TCU, earning all conference honors. The family has a Colt legacy that spans generations and wants to help your family's roofing needs, plus gutters, painting, solar, and more. For more information, go to johnwaderoofing.com. Welcome back to Choctaw Stadium, everybody. Alongside Jot Holly, I'm Zach Arnold. We're trying out a new feature tonight as we try to use the in-house camera system at Choctaw, a supplement of our wonderful intern Daniel from UT Arlington, a comms major who just attended Comm Day. at UT Arlington. Jot, you and I are both UTA alums, and we have a lot of fond memories from our time at Com Day.
Yeah, I got to experience Com Day last year. It was my first chance of doing it as a senior. As a senior year, we had a chance to do it. I enjoyed Com Day. It was great. Meeting all the people that come back that were UTA alumni and all the booths and stuff they have around campus, especially Maverick Media, Maverick Radio, which a lot of people like Daniel. He's the president of Maverick Media, so it's always a good chance for us to enjoy it. I was on the board last year at UTA, so I got to attend Com Day, and it's a great time to be had, especially from two Maverick alumni up here.
My wife is a Bowie alumnus. Some friends of ours are Lamar alumni. It's senior night for Lamar. As well. So we're looking to potentially spoil Lamar's senior night, if at all possible.
Sorry for the lapse in quietness.
We're still troubleshooting. We're
Yeah.
still troubleshooting.
We worked
As the 6-2 Bowie Volunteers, 5-0 in district, hit the quote-unquote road for tonight's game against the Lamar Vikings, who are on a bit of a tear. 3 wins and 2 losses, including a big come-from-behind victory against Arlington High last week, which I was on the call for with John Nelson. It felt like a tale of 2 halves, as Lamar was down 21-0 at the break and then scored all 35 of their points in the second half to come back and beat Arlington. So Bowie is going to have their hands full if they want to improve to 6-0 in district tonight.
Yeah, the way the Volunteers played last week, though, versus Haltom, I think they have a good chance to take down the Vikings this week. Bowie coming in at 5-0 in district play. They want to continue this hot streak leading into next week, no matter the outcome here, because you have 2 5-0 teams in district, South Grand Prairie and Bowie. But Bowie last week, they took care of Haltom outside of 2 big plays and a kind of a garbage time touchdown that Haltom scored near the end of the game, trying to keep it up. The Volunteers defense was stout, especially against one of the top runners in the area in Robertson. So hopefully, if you're the Volunteers, you take what you learned last week and bring it into the game this week versus Lamar, who's hot off of that win, off of that come from behind victory over the Colts that you got the call last week with John Nelson.
Yeah, John is a local legend, as we like to put it, with the local legends figures. We're excited to have him on board for whatever games he's able to call, and excited to be here for this game as well. The Lamar Vikings come in with an average of 30.4 points per game, but they average 26 points allowed per game, whereas Bowie comes in averaging 39 while giving up only 25.5. Bibbs, Nichols, and Osunde Brown are all top 5 in their offensive categories in 6A and DFW, but on the flip side, you've got Pruitt, Thomas, and Shaw, who are all in the top 15 in DFW's offensive stats as well. We talked about Arlington and Bowie potentially having a high offense game, and then that one turned into a very low-scoring affair. And so it's really interesting to see what the outcome of this game could end up being. It was just a 21-14 win between the Colts and the Vikings between the Colts and the Volunteers. Sorry.
Yeah, it was a low-scoring game, which obviously Bowie won at the very end. Arlington had a busted coverage play, and we were expecting a lot out of those offensive games. Last week, we were expecting a lot out of the offense as well, but Bowie did a good job kind of shutting down the offense. Haltom. Lamar tonight, they have a very explosive offense that you got to see up close. The last time I saw Lamar was last year at this stadium when they put up 60 points over the Arlington Colts defense.
Yep.
So I've seen firsthand that this team, it was a different quarterback obviously last year, but this team can put up points in a hurry. They've done it multiple times this year. They've had multiple games of over 35, over 40, 35 versus Horn, 40 versus Martin, 43 in a game they lost to Haltom, 44-43. So the Vikings do put up a lot of points. Bowie, on the other hand, they do the same thing as well. They've had a 50-point game versus Sam, a 60-pointer versus Grand Prairie. Obviously, the Martin game, the pink out, 56-43. The last 2 games, though, the offense hasn't picked up much. The Arlington High game, they only scored 21, and they didn't score that last touchdown until late in the game. Last week, they scored fast early, and then they didn't score much late in the game until it was time to close out. As you see, the Vikings run onto the field, and the Volunteers are on the other side of the field. Technically a home game tonight for Lamar. here at Choctaw Stadium. The last few games that we've been here, the Volunteers have been the home team, but Joint Stadium in the city of Arlington, you get a chance to see the home team Vikings, the Northsiders, those that come down from Division 30, Lamar, North Green Oaks, all the way over here to the ballpark of Arlington, not anymore, Choctaw Stadium.
Yeah, and we'll be trying to incorporate some of what Choctaw has to offer on tonight's broadcast. So if we hit any bumps along the way, we appreciate your patience in advance. This is all brand new, uncharted territory for us as we try to find new ways to ramp up our coverage of the Bowie Volunteers and the rest of Arlington ISD. Both teams have taken the field. That means we're getting ready to start this ball game. The pregame show is presented by our friends at Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services, Inc., a family-owned business with a team of professionals who have served the Arlington area for over 50 years. So don't let insurance be a headache. Chapman Cornelius can help you create a custom insurance plan tailored to your small business's needs and budget. Call April or Jason today at 817-265-3346 or go to chapman-cornelius.com. John, it felt like fall was finally on its way, but the temperatures here tonight at Choctaw are very, very mild, hovering around 60 degrees with lows that will get down into the 50s. So it does feel a bit like fall, but probably we've experienced cooler here in the DFW area.
It used to be growing up October, November, December, football weather, fall weather. I used to be one of those kids that didn't wear sleeves when you went to practice, when you played games. I took it the way as, hey, nature intended. I'm going to go out there and let my body warm myself up. Tonight, a lot of these kids won't have to deal with that. Still relatively warm. If it's 60 degrees and windy outside of the ballpark, it's probably 75 down on the field. As you see the players line up for the national anthem. While they do that, we're going to mute our mics and send you on to the anthem.
Temperature right now in Arlington, Texas is 64 degrees. Wind is just barely out of the north at 1 mile per hour. The weather report is sponsored by C&LC in support of Arlington ISD. Go ahead and copy that link and send it to your group chat. Let them know that it is football time in Texas. Senior night for the Volunteers. Correction, for the Vikings. Vikings and Volunteers. I'm going to get those V words mixed up a lot tonight, Jot.
It will be pretty confusing. Hopefully you don't call the wrong name while somebody scores. If a Volunteer touchdown, you don't yell out, go Vikings, and vice versa. It tends to happen, though, when you have too many Vs. Benefit is, though, we are all here supporting the Arlington schools together, as all Arlington alumni are. I'm a Colt alumni, but I still support the winner of this team, the loser of the team. I'm calling the Volunteers. But it's cool to see the Vikings in action. It's great to see the Volunteers in action. And at the end of the day, you just want good, clean action between the two teams. Good football, competitive football. And at the end of the day, leave it out on the field. Don't take it home with you. Support your teammates, support your city, and watch these teams go on. As you see the Vikings get ready to come out for the kickoff. They're going to receive the kick from the Volunteers. So the Volunteers will get the ball at halftime. We'll get ready to see the high-powered Viking offense led by Pastor Jaden Shaw, who has 1,600 passing yards on the season, 15 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions.
Mariko Harris and Kamorian Richmond are the two men deep to return for the Vikings. As we show you the lower third that Choctaw Stadium is able to present as part of their in-house production. That will be our primary scorebug tonight. But we'll be alternating between our primary camera and their camera features. but it's a new enhancement that we just figured out how to do today, Jot. And so we're excited to see how it'll all play out tonight.
One benefit about being a nerdy broadcast student that's good with audio video stuff like you and me are, we have a chance to figure out how to crack the code and make the stream come to life.
Speaking of coming alive, that's Leo Espindola ready to send this game live from Choctaw. Fair catch will be fielded at the 25-yard line. That's number 12, Justin Magruder, the junior defensive back. And as you said, we'll get our first look at the Lamar Vikings, fresh off of a win against Arlington High last week by a score of 35-21. It was all on the ground game, 368 yards on the ground for Lamar in that game, Jot, including 219 credited to Tyrone Thomas and 108 by the quarterback, Jaden Shaw. It'll be Shaw who takes the snap, hands it off up the middle, and that's a quick 5 or 6 yards as big number 0, Kevin Baines, comes in to make the tackle after a pickup of about 6.
Yeah, the Bowie Volunteers front line with Haynes, Williams, Houston, and D. They did a good job last week containing Robertson, who's one of the better runners in the area, out of Haltom. Held him to under 100 yards, minus a 66-yard run. As you see, Thomas is As you see, the ball is continued held on. It breaks the tackle, and he's pushed out of bounds at the 45-yard line. They caught me on the read option there.
Yeah, Shaw was deadly at that in last week's game against Arlington, particularly in the second half. And he takes off for a big gainer there. Baines escorting him out of bounds, but not before Lamar gets into plus territory. They're sporting a black pant tonight, Jot. I don't think I've ever seen the Vikings in anything other than the navy and gold.
They're trying something different for good luck tonight. Halloween's tomorrow. Put your best clothes on.
Handoff up the middle, big hole, and I don't think anybody's going to catch him in this foot race. To the house for 45 yards. That's number 20, Tyrone Thomas. Touchdown, Vikings.
Yeah, Thomas found a gap up the middle, made Powell Goffey miss. Powell Goffey and Castile, the linebackers, they're two good linebackers for the Volunteers. The middle level of that defense, this guy beat. Nobody was there to keep Thomas from scoring, and Thomas breaks for a big touchdown run.
We've barely cracked the seal on this ball game, and the Vikings are already on the board. This is number 30 coming on for the extra point, Jacob Viator. Kick is up and good. Your new score, 11-14 to go in the first. It's the Vikings 7, the Volunteers getting the ball next. We'll be back with more high school football on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing after this.
A-frames that bring their A game. The next time you need to get your brand out to the community, go with the printers who are in your community, Ika Signs. With everything from wall signs to banners, printed tees to hats, Ika can even do same-day rush orders on select products. Visit ikasigns.com/shop to see their full list. That's ikasigns.com/shop. Ika Signs, a partner of Zach Arnold Productions.
Welcome back to Choctaw Stadium alongside Jot Holly. I'm Zach Arnold. And Jot, that was a very quick score by the Vikings on their scripted plays to start the ball game.
Yeah, that was a big touchdown run up the middle for Thomas for 48 yards. Was able to break up through and get the Vikings on the board early. And fans, that touchdown is brought to you by Classic Chevrolet.
Only for home teams.
Only for home teams. Yeah, thank you.
Classic Chevy is a partner of us this year, but we're not going to celebrate the Viking touchdowns. Volunteers fielded at about the 15, trying to get it across the 25 and then some. And we'll get our first look at Jaden Bibbs from about the 27-yard line as this one gets brought back by number 7, Mad Max.
And Maxwell Nichols, he is closing in on 1,000 yards on the season. He needs 17 yards to put him at 1,000. He has 49 catches, 10 touchdowns, 983 yards. So he has a chance to put up that big 1,000 here on the first drive. Last week on the first drive, Bibbs went 5 for 5, found Nichols twice. He ended up catching Nichols later on in the game for a big 60-yard touchdown pass. Let's see if Nichols can get something here started.
Nichols is credited as the number 1 in receiving yards for all of 6A players in DFW, and he gets it here, I believe, as he gets escorted out of bounds by a couple of Vikings. In there on the stop, Mariko Harris. Second down and short.
And just like last week, you start the drive, get into the best player on your offense in Nichols. He has 50 catches on the season now. Thanks to that first one there. You'll see a lot of Nichols, a lot of a Sunday Brown on the opposite side of the field from Nichols. So expect a lot of balls in the air tonight.
Well, Sunday Brown is a top 10 receiver, so when you have number 1 and number 10, it makes your offensive attack deadly, but this one is going to be stopped for a loss of 1 on the play. The catch was made by the running back out of the backfield, Denzel Ponder, but it will bring up third down and about 8. So we'll see what kind of scripted play you have in store for third and medium. As they send a man in motion, Bibbs will keep it as he goes up the middle. Tried to fake the Lamar defense and could not. He will be stopped short of the line to gain, and Lamar with a score. Bowie with a 3 and out, Jot.
Yeah, last week Bibbs had a lot of opportunities against the Haltom defense, the way they came out with to able to use his legs to make up something to get a first down. Right there, the defense of Lamar knew what to expect from Bibbs on the read option, kept it himself, wasn't able to get the first down. He got a good gain out of it, though, but now it's 4th down. As Power Gophie punched that ball into the night sky.
Looks like they're going to lay off of this one as Bowie will down it inside the 30. And Lamar will have the ball when we come back with high school football on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing.
Taqueria Taco Express is the official taqueria of Zach Arnold Productions, with locations in Arlington, Grand Prairie, Waxahachie, and a new location opening in Mansfield. Solving your Mexican food craving has never been easier. Visit them on Taco Tuesdays for their special 5 tacos and a large agua fresca for just $10. Find out more by visiting taqueriatacoexpress.com.
Back to live action at Choctaw Stadium as Jaden Shaw comes back out for another possession. He'll do a curl route that gets caught across the 30. Flag on the play. We'll see what the options are.
Be a 15-yard penalty on the Volunteers. It's going to back them up, give the Vikings free first down. Instead of having the ball at the 28, Vikings got the ball at the 48-yard line. 48-yard line.
Penalties are things that both teams said they were looking to clean up during the time between weeks.
They see that ball is handed off and a broken tackle up the middle of the line for the Volunteers, the Vikings, and he is dragging the Volunteers along with them. Too many V's tonight. All that matters was that is a first down run for Lamar on the read option. Thomas fought his way up for 10 yards. He had a chance to get brought down in the backfield, but the defensive line for the Volunteers could not wrap up. First down, Vikings. Now, just like that, 2 plays in, the Vikings are into Volunteer territory at the 43-yard line. That's ball snap, handed off to Thomas again. He cuts to the outside, looking for a blocker. He's going to drag more Volunteers with him. He's dragging Volunteers with a good push from the offensive line. That is going to be close to a first down. They're going to give him the first down, or it's going to be 2nd and inches. Nope, first down, Vikings. Back-to-back 10-yard runs for Thomas. The Vikings, they're driving. early. 8:09 left to go in the first quarter. Thomas has been the man on this drive, back-to-back 10-yard rushes. As you see Shaw, shotgun, 3 receivers to the left. Thomas to his right. He drops back. He's looking. He looks to the right. He takes off up through the middle. He makes a man miss, and he's fighting. He passes Bogofi to the 15, to the 10, to the 5, and he's pushed out of bounds. He dives across the pylon, and that is short. He's going to be called out around the 2. Shaw used his legs up the middle. He ran past Bogofi and made it all the way to the 2-yard line. Tried to dive across the pylon, but wasn't able to reach. Princeton Campbell made the touchdown-saving tackle, and now the Vikings are in the red zone at the 1. They're going to knock them down at the 1.
Vikings knocking on the door again after scoring on their first drive.
Shaw in the shotgun again. Thomas to his right. Wing to his right. He hands the ball to Thomas. Thomas looks. He is stuffed. He's pushing. He's pushing. The line's pushing behind him. You see Shaw at the back of that pile. But Thomas is going to be marked down still within inches of scoring a touchdown. The defensive line came alive there on this goal line stop. 2nd and goal. Tyrone Thomas has already been the man on this drive. 2 rushes of 10 yards each on this drive. Then Jaden Shaw with a big scramble there was able to get them into the red zone. 2nd and 1.
One man split out wide, jumbo package up the middle. Shaw will give it, outside run, touchdown Volunteers. Correction, Vikings. I knew I was going to do that, Jot. I knew I was going to do that, and I couldn't protect myself anyways. That's a Viking touchdown, and they're up 2 scores early.
Yeah, the defensive line of these Volunteer players there, this is getting ran up the middle. Just like last year when we got to see Lamar versus Arlington was the last chance I've seen them. Same formula, read options. You let the quarterbacks use their speed and let the running backs build up the quarterback when needed. Tyrone Thomas and Jaden Shaw back-to-back in this drive. Got down the field. Now the Vikings take a 14-0 lead.
We'll be back with more high school football on Zap right after this, but Bowie's got their work cut out for them.
Are you a small business owner looking for reliable insurance coverage? Or perhaps you're navigating the complexities of Medicare? Look no further. Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services is a family-owned, independent insurance agency with over 50 years of experience with tailored insurance solutions for small businesses and their owners. Whether you need home and auto, business insurance, or individual or group medical, Chapman Cornelius has knowledgeable agents who will help you select just what you need. Call April Chapman or Jason Ott at 817-265-3346.
Welcome back to Choctaw Stadium. Jot, it looks like we're having some more camera difficulties. I may have to give you the play-by-play for this one.
Well, it looks like the cameras at the moment aren't our problem for the difficulties. The Choctaw camera here at the stadium froze. It looks like we're going to have to do a little reconnecting there for the Choctaw camera. As that ball is kicked up into the air, fielded at the 10-yard line. Turner's going to field it back. That's Campbell. He's going to be brought down at the 29-yard line. So that's where the Volunteers take over for their second drive of the game. After the big run by Campbell. Vikings lead still here, 14-0. 6:55 left to go in the first quarter. The Volunteers coming out for their second drive. They're going to start this drive at the 29-yard line. Bibbs comes out, pistol formation. Tennyson to his left. Hands the ball to Ponder. And Ponder is fighting up. He's going to break a tackle. He breaks through the hole. He pushes a man down. He runs over another man, breaks the tackle, and he's fighting, pushing those legs, kicking it all the way to the 48-yard line. Good run, Christian Ponder, and that's how the Vikings are going to start off their drive. Big run, Christian Ponder, and we have a timeout already. Injured player for the Vikings. He is up and moving, hoping the young man is okay. Looks like both sides, though, are going to take a timeout while that player is checked on. While they take a timeout there, we're going to step aside here. Nope, and the Volunteers are already running back out onto the field. So after the big run by Christian Ponder, the Volunteers now have the ball at the 48-yard line. 1st and 10, 6:42 left to go in the first quarter. Bibbs comes out. 4 receivers to his right. Empty look. Sends a man in motion. That man is Mad Max. Sends Mad Max in motion on the swing. And he is going to fire over to Max on the swing. Good blocking by the Volunteers. He is going to make his way up to the 45. He cuts back, and he's pushed. He breaks another tackle, and he's going to be pushed down at the 27-yard line. Mad Max Nichols already has 2 catches in this first quarter. I believe that one puts him over the 1,000-yard mark on the season. He's brought down at the 30-yard line. First and 10, ball at the 30-yard line. Man in motion for Bibbs. High snap. Bibbs hands it off to Ponder. Ponder looks, breaks through a tackle, cuts through another tackle, and he's pushing. Offensive line is going to come help him out, but he's not going to go much of anywhere after that. 5-yard run by Ponder, marked down at the 23-yard line. Volunteers are knocking on the door for the red zone. 2nd and 3. Ball at the 23. The Volunteers are trying to get their first points of the game. 5:55 left to go in the first quarter. Bibbs, tight formation. He rolls out, slight rollout, and he's looking. He fires, and he has a man open on the swing who's going to break his way up to the 15-yard line. 1st down. That was Ponder on the swing pass. Good little swing pass with the rollout by Bibbs. Good action by the Volunteers, and now they're knocking on the door of scoring here. They're at the 16-yard line and puts them in the red zone. 1st and 10. Vikings have scored on their first 2 drives. Volunteers need an answer here to keep this game close in the first quarter. Bibbs takes the snap. He rolls immediately to his left. He's looking deep. He's going to take off. Nope, he finds a man. He just dumps the ball out of bounds. Good pass rush there by the Vikings. 2nd and 10. Seems we had a little connection issue with the Choctaw camera. So we'll run everything old school today. Daniel, the cameraman from UTA, Maverick Media president, working on the camera that you see here. So we have 2nd and 10. Ball still at the 16-yard line. 5:17 to go in the first quarter. 14-0. As see Ponder goes out in motion. So empty set for Bibbs. Bibbs drops back. He's looking deep. He's looking over the middle of the field. He pass brush gets in his face, but he runs up, he scrambles, and he's going to be brought down at the 14-yard line. Good pass rush, good penetration there by the Vikings to bring up 3rd down. Jake Bibbs not able to use his legs this week the way he did last week versus the Halton Buffaloes here. In the game, the Volunteers ended up winning 30-20. Third down to 7. Pistol look. Ponder behind Bibbs. 2 receivers to the left. Bibbs hands it off to Ponder. Ponder's going nowhere. Fought forward for about 2 yards before he ran into a brick wall of a man out there for the Vikings. 4th down. Be 4th and 5. It looks like Espindola is staying on the sideline. Tackle made there by number 17, Talon Martinez. Bibbs was looking to get a call. The play clock, 4 minutes left to go in the first quarter. There is no play clock lit up on the scoreboard. On the other side, it is 13 seconds left to go on the play clock. But the play clock in front of Bibbs is turned off. 8 seconds left on the clock. Bibbs, tight look, tight formation of the shotgun. Hands the ball off to Ponder. No, he's going to keep it himself. He's going to roll out using his legs. He gets the 1st down and more as he's pushed out of bounds at the 5-yard line. First and 5 for the Volunteers. 1st and goal for the Volunteers at the 5. Bibbs did a good job, used his legs, got to the outside. The Vikings came out in some type of contain to keep him. He broke through the contain. The defensive end didn't stay home. Good job by Bibbs to work and get yourself a 1st down. Scoreboard says 1st and 4. 3:45 left to go in the first quarter. As we have split backs. Mad Max wide by himself, top of your screen. And Bibbs is looking. He finds a man. That is Tennyson. Touchdown, Volunteers. Tennyson out of the backfield like a fullback catches the ball and puts the Volunteers on the scoreboard. 14-6, pinned with this extra point pending. Exmandola lines up for the extra point. 14-6 on the scoreboard. Snap, good hold by Sunday Brown. The kick is up, and it is good. 14-7 here at the Choctaw Stadium. Vikings lead, and they're going to get the ball back here. 3:39 left to go in the first quarter. The Volunteers finally got an answer. This is Volunteer Football presented to you by John Wade Roofing. We'll be back after this.
Local Legends Figures immortalizes your athlete's achievements for a lifetime. Featuring 6-inch figures with poses in football, baseball, band, hockey, even lacrosse. Local Legends makes every effort to show their likeness down to every possible uniform detail. To order your custom figure, call 817-681-0319 or email orders at locallegendsfigures.com.
Pools in Texas need servicing all year long. At Rami Pools, LLC, we provide quality pool services such as cleaning, maintenance, and repairs. So call 469-951-0107 for a free estimate and ask for Roberto. Rami Pools, LLC. We're going to make you fall in love with your pool again. Hablamos español.
Back to Choctaw Stadium and back to our roots using the old school score bug, and we'll just update you with the time as we go. 3:39 to go here in the first quarter. Zach Arnold back on the call as Jot Holly tries to figure out a way to reconnect us to the Choctaw Stadium camera features. It was fun while it lasted, but luckily we still have our primary camera, and we've got Pops, the producer, who's going to take over production duties. No timeouts taken, so that's all correct on the scoreboard there, Pops. And the score is correct here in the first quarter. The drive summary from that previous drive, it was a scoring drive capped off by a 4-yard pass from Bibbs to Tennyson. And the next time you're ready to drive something new, contact Yadi Pagan at 817-706-5679 as this pass is caught. Extra yardage achieved across the 40-yard line as Lamar able to seemingly pass and run at will so far early in this ball game. Leading 14-7 and looking for more. So it's a first down and 10 from the 43-yard line. Shaw with a man in motion. He'll hand it off to that right-hand side. Got a lead blocker looking for the corner. He's got it. Down the sideline, it's a foot race. Cannot shed the tackle, but he does get inside the red zone. Finally catching up to him and making the stop is Don Rivas, but not before another big run as Lamar able to read the defense well, and Thomas with another big gainer. That's a first down for the Vikings as they go quick to the line. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Thomas with the handoff on the stretch, and he'll get met at the line of scrimmage. 4 or 5 different Volunteers there to send him back. Among them, number 0, Kevin Baines. And it'll be second down for the Vikes. We've had issues with this wireless transmitter that we're using, trying to cobble together access to Choctaw Stadium's camera systems, but we're very fortunate to have John Wade Roofing sponsoring the camera that we're using in-house tonight for our own single cam broadcast. As that one-handed grab, about as impressive as the one camera that we're able to utilize on a regular basis. Pickup of 9 on the completion, and it'll bring up third down and short. Lamar threatening again, trying to answer the Bowie touchdown. This one will be a handoff, and I don't think he got it. Depends on if it's a left or a right-footed ref, but the head linesman on the near side seems to be saying he is short of the line to gain, and Lamar is going to send out their field goal unit. Jot, I don't know what kind of magic you just worked, but looks like we might be able to bring this magic back after the break.
Voodoo magic there. Voodoo magic.
It is Halloween, spooky season. Field goal on the way, up and true. 1:08 to go in the quarter. And Lamar is up by 10. We'll be back with more high school football on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing after this.
Need a cleanup that's easier than finding your seat on game day? Trinity Logistics Services has you covered. Whether it's your home or your business, Trinity will drop off and pick up the dumpster. No hassle, no mess. Founded by Arlington's own Chet Soto, class of '97, Trinity Logistics Services is proud to serve their hometown. Call 817-693-1302 and let's tackle your next project together.
Welcome back to the wonderful accommodations of Choctaw Stadium. Jot, we continue to find new innovations almost every time we come here.
When you get a chance to tinker with things the way I do, eventually you figure out how to make things work. So I'm not good at escape rooms. I can't figure out how to get myself out without breaking the lock. So
Another short kickoff as Bowie will take it at the 15-yard line. And they will not even get back to touchback distance, as that was really good coverage by Lamar. Bowie did get a touchdown drive just moments ago there, Jot, so hoping to continue some of that momentum here on this drive.
yeah, the Volunteers had a good drive, the previous drive, going down the field to score the ball. Some of it's built off of just the way they ran the way their offense is built. Swing passes to Mad Max, swing passes to Ponder. Ponder did a good job finding holes. The offensive line blocked. If they can continue to do that here, they can cut into this 17-7 score.
Last week it was Lamar that found themselves on the short end of some consecutive scoring drives. Now they find themselves ahead by 10 as this shuttle pass could be trouble. It's a foot race. Who's going to win it? Sunday Brown gets into enemy territory before finally being wrestled out of bounds by Marquavion Gully. But it's a big pickup, and it'll be a Bowie first down.
Sunday Brown coming off of a game last week. We had almost 150 yards through the air and a big receiving touchdown. Doing it again here early. First catch of the night. That's not going to be the first one you'll see out of him, though.
Good closing speed by the defensive back. That was a touchdown-saving tackle. As we go under a minute to go here in the opening quarter, Ponder's got it, and he will not get far.
Vikings are reading that pistol look. They see when the Volunteers come out in pistol that the ball is going to be handed off to Ponder. That's when you pull it, or that's when you roll out for a play action. Eventually, you're going to catch the Vikings defensive line slipping.
Got to go RPO in some of those instances as they break huddle here for what will probably be the final play of the quarter. Taking a look at the sidelines with 15 on the play clock.
Single high safety, man coverage on each of the receivers down here at the bottom. Let's see if Bibbs noticed it.
He is looking that right-hand side. He'll go underneath for a good completion, but not enough for a first down. They'll say that the receiver went out of bounds, so that will stop the clock. So that'll bring us to third down and about 1. Clock showing 5 seconds in that first quarter. Handoff up the middle, first down and more. Trying to cut away from the defense. Not quite enough, but it will be First down in the red zone when we start the second quarter and flip the field. Lamar's ahead by 10, but Bowie's knocking on the door. Back after this here on the Zap Network.
Modern West Windows and Doors is a partner of the Zap Network. They're also partnered with trusted industry leaders like Lowen, Weather Shield, and Simpas to guarantee quality product and installation. Whether you're searching for new concepts for your entryway, living room, dining room, bedroom, or even a workshop, Modern West has the solutions you're looking for. Visit the showroom at 1211 6th Avenue in Fort Worth or visit modernwestwindows.com.
Taquería Taco Express es la taquería oficial de Zach Arnold Productions. Con un amplio y auténtico menú, satisface tus antojos o prepara tu próximo evento con nosotros. Visítanos todos los martes para disfrutar de Taco Tuesday con 5 tacos y un agua fresca por solo $10. Para encontrar sucursales cercanas o hacer pedidos en línea, visita taqueriatacoexpress.com.
Fans, the second quarter is presented by Ika Signs. The next time you need signs, banners, printed shirts, or other print materials, Ika Signs is the local printer to call. 817-617-2229 is the number. And tell them Zap sent you. Jot, it's Halloween tonight, and we've got some Halloween costumes that were showing up here on the broadcast. I know you're going out trick-or-treating with your kiddo tomorrow. Are you going to be dressing up?
No, my dressing up days are over. My dressing up days ended when I hit 2X.
My wife wants to do couples costumes, and we'll see how that goes as this one goes up the middle. She wants to do creative ones because, you know, she's Hispanic, so she wants to try to incorporate the skin tone differential between her and I. Her most recent suggestion was she be Khal Drogo from Game of Thrones and I be Khaleesi.
As a person who's only seen a little bit of Game of Thrones, that went over my head.
For you Game of Thrones lovers out there, I don't know how I feel about that one. Second down and short as Bowie sends a man in motion. They're going to go to Nichols on the flat. He's got it. He's got the corner, reaching for it, to the pylon and to the end zone. Touchdown, Volunteers.
Similar play Nichols scored on last week with 2-3 lead blockers. You throw it short and let the blocking work for the Volunteers. Good job. Now they've cut into the lead. They've cut into the score, make it a one-possession game again.
Looks like possibly an injured Viking being tended to in the end zone after that scoring play. We'll take a short timeout while they tend to him and be back with more on the Zap Network after this.
Navigating Medicare options isn't easy. Hi, I'm Patsy Arnold, and when the time came to navigate my options, I went to Chapman Cornelius. They helped me find the best plan for my needs, quoted me life insurance options, and guided me in making my decisions every step of the way. They want to do the same for you, so give them a call at 817-265-3346 or visit chapman-cornelius.com.
Up on his own power and trotting off is the senior defensive back number 6, Ja'Cory Ellis. As Mad Max able to punch it in on that little underneath route. That scoring drive capped off by that pass from Bibbs to Nichols, a connection we have seen quite often this season. And fans, the next time you're ready to drive something new, be sure to contact Yadi Pagan at Classic South. Classic Chevrolet, relax and enjoy the difference. Hope you're relaxing and enjoying the broadcast. It's just a 3-point game here early in the second quarter. We'll be back with more on the Zap Network after this.
John Wade Roofing has been serving the Arlington area since 1982, but the Wade legacy runs much deeper in the city of Arlington. A pioneer family that has had roots going back decades, John Wade and Company saw relatives attend the Cooper Street Arlington High campus and has had members play in Colt athletics for decades. And they're looking forward to serving this community for decades to come. Find out more at johnwaderoofing.com.
Modern West Windows and Doors invites you to see the difference. Whether you need sliding doors, bay windows, or just need a more modern look, Modern West has options to fit both your style and budget. Stop by the showroom at 1211 6th Avenue in Fort Worth to see for yourself, or call 682-255-6094 for more information.
And correct.
Welcome back to Choctaw Stadium. Zach Arnold on the call alongside Jot Holly. Pops Doug is the producer keeping up with the video inputs, and Daniel Castagna on our Zap Cam up top. This is a live ball that they have to jump for, and Lamar may not get decent field position about the 30-yard line after a very odd hop, and now a flag at midfield. Anastasia Gonzalez cheering for Kevin Baines from California. Thanks so much for tuning in. I see Chris Villacorta tuning in on the YouTube chat as well. Fans, we appreciate your patience as we continue to work out all of the bugs and kinks of providing a quality broadcast for Arlington ISD.
Well,
That audio issue, that's not our fault.
that's not our fault. That is called feedback from the referee's mic.
And it will be Lamar ball marched off from the 30, another 10 yards, another 15 yards. That's a 15-yard penalty at midfield, the second 15-yarder committed by the Vols this half.
We've had multiple games this year, either me and you or me and Pops or me and Kim Costello with the Bowie Volunteers, and they are one of the more penalized teams in the district. And you're not going to win district if you're penalizing yourself like that.
Man in motion as Shaw is back to pass. He's going for it all. He's got a man in one-on-one coverage. That's a dot, and that's a touchdown. One play, a pass to number 1, Camille Pruitt. He likes that matchup, and Pruitt punches it in for 6 on a pretty pass.
Looked like busted coverage somewhere along the way, but it left with Pruitt on the safety. Pruitt's one of the top receivers in the district, over there with Mad Max. Pruitt's closing in on 1,000 yards as well, and that's going to get him closer and closer with big plays and busted coverage there. The Volunteers did all that work to cut back within 3, and they're back down to 10.
Pruitt with 819 receiving yards, according to Dallas Morning News, coming into tonight's game as the extra point by the Vikings is up and true. He's probably closer to 900 now, and a 9th touchdown on the season. Back in 30 seconds here on the Zap Network.
If you're like me and need printed materials to get your brand out there to the community, then you need Ika Signs. Conveniently located in central Arlington, Ika features a wide selection of shirts, hats, banners, yard signs, acrylics, magnets for your car, magnets for your fridge, tumblers, A-frames, and more. Call Ika at 817-617-2229 for more information and tell them Zap sent you.
Welcome back to Choctaw Stadium as Lamar took full advantage of the 15-yard penalty to go for a one-play, 55-yard go route. And go he did, Camille Pruitt, all the way to the house on a one-play scoring drive. And with 11 minutes to go until the break, Lamar's back in front by 10, Jot.
Yeah, the Volunteers, first of all, they gave the Vikings great field position after the 15-yard penalty on the kickoff. Then you give a busted coverage play to let Pruitt run down the field scot-free. Safety was nowhere to be found. Left in the dust, and now you're down. Now you're back down to 10. It's still early though. 11 minutes left to go in the first half.
Onside attempt, and Bowie falls on it. Goodness gracious, imagine the catastrophe that could have been involved there, Jot, if Lamar was able to capitalize on a successful onside kick.
If you're Lamar, you're playing with a lot at stake. You know, if you're winning, you win, you're in. That is your key. You win, you're in. Most likely, depending on the other outcomes with Arlington. But for Lamar, they know they just got to do what they can to punch Bowie in the mouth. And Bowie's just accepting it at the moment. Let's see if the offense can respond.
Bowie is already in, regardless of how these last two games play out, but they definitely want to go into that South Grand Prairie game with a perfect district record. You're right, Lamar, regardless of their game next week, which I think is against the Grand Prairie Gophers, regardless of how that game goes, if they win here, they're in the postseason as a flag is on the play here. There is a potential, depending on how this game goes, there is a potential for a three-way tie among teams with 4-3 records, as long as Arlington can take care of business against Arton and Grand Prairie tomorrow night on Halloween. If Bowie beats Lamar, and if Arlington wins out and Haltom finishes with the 4-3 record that we expect them to because they have to play South Grand Prairie this week, if all three teams finish with 4-3 records, the two teams that get in are the Vikings and the Buffaloes. Vikings and Buffaloes is what Coach Peach said during one of his midweek interviews with our very own John Nelson. The point differential is such that Haltom's wins and Lamar's margin of victory over Arlington last week would leave Arlington as the odd man out in that equation. So, if you're an Arlington High fan, you are cheering for the Vikings tonight so that you can squeeze your way into a fourth spot via tiebreaker in your head-to-head versus Haltom. A lot on the line for Arlington tonight, a lot on the line for Lamar tonight, a lot on the line for the district. Bibbs under pressure, and he's going to get dropped behind the line. He was looking for a deep pass himself, and the Viking defense said, not going to happen. Leading the charge for Lamar, Zion Johnson, number 0, listed just as an ATH. And his athleticism pushes Bowie back behind the chains all the way back to the 40-yard line.
Yeah, the Volunteers offensive line is not doing them any favors. But right now, they have a chance here to make that up with the three receivers to the right.
Bibbs back to pass again, under pressure, and he's going to get dropped at the 45. Tried to scramble away from trouble, but right now the Lamar defense is outspeeding the speed of Bowie, which has been their bread and butter all season.
Before the play jumped, he had trips right. He had a mismatch because Lamar only had 2 defenders on that side of the field. If the offensive line had given him a little bit more time, Bibbs could have found Max or Sunday Brown for a first down, but instead it's 4th down.
Goffey kicking to Pruitt, and that's a live ball, and I think Bowie fell on it. That's a muffed punt by Lamar, and the Volunteers are right there on top of it. Catastrophic as we try to see if Choctaw Stadium has a replay feature for us, as big number 87 Brody Ferguson in the right place at the right time to pick up the first turnover of the game.
Yes, no replay feature tonight. We have one here at Zap, but we were relying off of
We were a little bit behind on it there. As this pass is caught, and inside the 20 goes the receiver. That's number 13, Darian Carson, the junior wideout. And Jod, if you're Bowie, you have to take advantage of this with 6.
You have to take advantage of it. You have to find spacing. Lamar's coming out with a lot of single deep coverage with only one safety over the top. So you have to find somebody open. Where your offensive line has to get a block somewhere. Lamar, they're going to bring up 4 or 5 men on the line. They're coming at you each play.
Well, and let's not forget the Division I recruit number 42, Braylon Williams. He is a force to be reckoned with in the middle of that front 7. Bowie trying to go underneath. Pass is caught, but for no gain as Ferguson goes back to the original line of scrimmage.
Ferguson known for us here at Zap, Zap with baseball play for the Volunteers, the pitcher and a first baseman. Tonight he's playing tight end. He did a good job getting the fumble recovery on the muff punt. But nobody's blocking for the Volunteers. The Vikings, they're bringing 4-man rush up the line, plus they're bringing blitzing linebackers.
Big Talon Martinez in on the stop as this one is caught down the sideline and very, very near the line to gain. Mad Max fighting for every inch he can get, but it is not enough for the first down.
Mad Max doing everything he can, breaking off tackles there. Somebody on the offensive line has to block But if you're Bibbs, you have to read the blitzes coming. They're blitzing at that last play, 6 men. So 2 linebackers are coming at you. You have to have quick, short passes, nothing deep. In this situation, you just need 3 yards. So find the spot, find an out route, and get it to a man and get the first down.
It was that out route that led to a touchdown on Bowie's last trip to the red zone as man goes in motion there. And Bibbs with the keeper on the quarterback counter. He's got a 1st and goal.
That's a good job by Bibbs there. There was a man running free from the Vikings. Bibbs using his speed, shakes off the tackle, and gets the first down.
10-point game, trying to make it a 3-point game as Bowie with a 1st and goal after recovering the muff punt. First turnover of the game. Points off turnovers going to be a point of emphasis tonight. Bibbs with Ponder to his left. Tennyson in motion. He'll give it to Ponder. Right side. Back to the middle. To the goal line. Taking a defender with him. He's in. Touchdown, Volunteers.
Good job, Ponder, using your legs, using your ball carrier vision to get yourself a touchdown. Now you're back to 3 points. You can make this extra point.
It's a great answer as Bowie was forced to punt and found a way to get the ball back and capitalize on the turnover. No fight song, really, as they're getting ready for the halftime performances here. You hear it a little bit, trying to scramble something together before you head down to the sidelines. Extra point is up and true. And it's a 3-point game again here at Choctaw Stadium, back in 30 seconds with a 3-point game on the Zap Network.
From weekend cleanups to major projects, Trinity Logistics Services has the perfect fit for you. With dumpsters ranging from 10 all the way up to 30 feet, they handle both drop-off and pick-up so you can stay focused on cleaning up the win. Call 817-693-1302 today and let Trinity Logistics Services help you score big on convenience and efficiency.
Clear blue skies all day, leading to a beautiful fall evening at Choctaw Stadium. Jot, I know it's Thursday night lights, but I don't think there's any place I'd rather be than Texas high school football.
Texas high school football is the place to be in Texas. We're in Texas. I don't know. I'm sorry. I thought I had something clever there, and I took my Adderall today. Don't worry.
Bowie has won the last 3 of this series. The last Lamar victory coming in 2021 in a high-scoring affair of 62-49. We may be on our way to that with the score being 24-21. And we've still got a good bit of this first half left to play before we hit the showers. Bowie will get it to start the second half, so this could be a pretty big drive if you're the Bowie defense. If you can get a stop here, you can give the offense enough time to make another scoring drive, either tie it or take the lead before the break, and then do, as the football experts say, a 2-for-1, where you get a score before the break and another one after it. Shaw with Pruitt in motion behind him. Handoff up the middle. And the announcer's jinx may have just taken effect here. One play again inside the 5. Correction down to the 6 as it took Caleb Pfeiffer chasing down Tyrone Thomas, who went through the heart of that Bowie defense.
And I was just about to say the front 4 and the linebackers are the most important part of this drive. Your linebacker, number 1, Castile, who's your outside linebacker. He's your Sam Will, depending on what side, weak side, strong side. He got washed in the blocking, got stuck behind a defensive end, and the running back ran right by him.
One play and a first and goal for the Vikings. I guess that's one way for the offense to get the ball back.
If you're Bowie, if Lamar does score, you want to at least cut it back to a score knowing you get the ball back at halftime.
This is a handoff stretch play to the right-hand side. Does he have the corner? No, he does not. Still on his feet, though, as it takes about 4 or 5 volunteers to bring down the shifty Caden Hall. Hall kept fighting for extra yardage even after he didn't get the corner. And I think he lost his hat on the play too, Jot. So putting his head in the game and giving his all on that play, just can't quite find the end zone.
You want to go into halftime down. At this point, you want to go down by a score. If it's 3 or if it's 7, you want to go down by at least a score, knowing you get the ball back. So if you're Bowie, your defense has to tighten up here in the red zone to try to hold the Vikings to 3, or your offense needs to come out on fire to get you back those points again. Let's see if the defense can get a stop here.
Trips to the left. Shaw's going that way on the underneath. It's Pruitt on the wide receiver tunnel screen, and he tunnels his way across the goal line for a Viking touchdown. So what are you thinking, John? First one to 60 wins?
First one to 60. You've seen 60 a few times from both of these teams this season. Maybe we'll get the chance to see it again.
Bowie put up 64 against Grand Prairie. The Vikings have come close a couple of times, putting up 55 against Sam Houston and 43 against Haltom in a 1-point defeat. Extra point is up and good. Your new score, Lamar 31, the Volunteers 21. Still a lot left to go in this first half. We'll see how it goes when we come back after this.
If you're looking for a pre-owned vehicle, then you need to see Yachty Pagan at Classic South in Euless. Yachty's a proud Arlington ISD product, a graduate of Lamar, and the voice of the Volunteers since 2021. Whether you're a first-time buyer, a seasoned buyer, or just looking to boost or rebuild your credit, Yachty's direct approach is why his customers become customers for life. Call or text 817-706-5679.
We were talking during that break about what the over-under would be. That's the combined total. I think I'm going to put the over-under at around 140 and a half.
I do know we came close one of these games to seeing 100 points. It was Bowie and Martin, I believe.
I believe so.
So I can see another 99-point game, but if you're Bowie, you want to be on the upside of that.
Yep.
That means that the defensive line and your linebackers, because Lamar's only connected on one big pass, everything else has been runs. Your front seven have to stop somebody. You have to stop either stop the running from the quarterback or stop the running from your running back. Pick a man and don't let him score again.
That 43 points in the combined score against Martin is the most that they have allowed all year, as this return is taken across the 30 up to the 35. 56-43 was the final score in that one, with 99 combined points being the total there.
It starts up front on both sides of the ball for the Volunteers. The offensive line is getting pushed back. The defense line is getting pushed forward. Somebody in the front seven on defense and front five on offense have to come together and get you back in this game. It's worked for the offense to drive down the field, but the playmakers from Mad Max to Sunday Brown have had to do a lot of extra work. The offensive line and your defensive line on both sides are what you need to combine to work together if you want to win this game.
Ricky Moody with a good comment on the YouTube chat. This makes SGP's 53-0 win against Lamar look that much more impressive, as this sack will send Bibbs back to the 30-yard line. That is a fair point, Ricky, but I would also counter that Lamar is peaking right now. After their defeat at the hands of South Grand Prairie, they toppled Sam Houston 55-7 and then took care of business against Arlington in convincing fashion by a score of 35-21. I had the chance to take a listen to the coach's show with Coach Skinner during the week, and he had a very interesting anecdote about the quarterback, Jaden Shaw, that I may throw in at some point during the broadcast, as this throw goes across the line of scrimmage and out of bounds, kind of close to Mad Max. Doesn't look like they're going to throw the intentional grounding flag, but I don't think he was outside of the tackle box.
I don't think he was outside of the tackle box. He had a man somewhere in the vicinity. You can tell that he's uncomfortable back there, though.
He is.
The way that he came out on that last play, he had two receivers to our side, and Sunday Brown's waving his hands up in the air. You're got to get him comfortable again in the pocket.
Third down and long now for the Volunteers. Bibbs standing up in the pocket, standing tall, and making the completion across midfield for the first down. Into traffic, and it does not matter. A big time grab on third down there by Darian Carson. Working on reconnecting our systems again here. Goes underneath, and two Vikings are there for a maybe 2-yard completion as Ponder catches it with just over 4 minutes to go here in the first half. 31-21 the score in favor of Lamar. Second down and 8 as a triangle of receivers sets up shop to the left of Jaden Bibbs. Mad Max by himself. They're going to go to that left-hand side. Ferguson's got it, trying to take a defender with him, and he'll lean forward to about the 31 to bring up third down. We'll call it third down and 6 as we come up on about 3:20 to go here in the second quarter. Two receivers split out to the right. Ferguson trying to serve as a lead blocker as Ponder goes the other direction. Scooting between defenders, taking some of them with him and into the end zone. That's how you answer. Bowie touchdown. What a big play on third down as Bowie able to answer and get back a little bit closer here as we get closer to halftime. 2:54 showing on the game clock as Espindola lines up for his 4th extra point attempt of the night. It is up. And it is true. Your new score, 31-28. It's a field goal game again here at Choctaw Stadium. We'll be back right after this. PDA Advocacy Group supports CCMR, College, Career, Military Readiness, a set of educational standards designed to help students be better prepared for post-high school life. If college-bound, take entrance tests, dual credit courses, earn a 2-year degree prior to graduation. If you're going to a career, take classes that will result in industry certification, mechanic, computers, welding, etc. The options are vast. Military? Enlist in the armed forces as a career. CCMR, driving towards success in life. Back to Choctaw Stadium and back with a connection to the folks here at Choctaw. We appreciate their hospitality as we bring you what could be the district game of the week. There is another big game with some playoff implications happening tomorrow between Haltom and South Grand Prairie. But Haltom finishes their season with Sam Houston. Lamar finishes their season with Grand Prairie. Arlington has to finish their season at Glassby to face off against the Martin Warriors. So that one will definitely be an interesting one. Espindola end over end, fair caught at the 28-yard line. Vikings still have all 3 of their timeouts, Jot. Let's see what they're able to do here late in this first half. Didn't take the Viking offense very long to get into the Bowie red zone last time. We'll see if the secondary is able to stay in front of these playmakers on this drive. Shaw will give it. This time the Bowie front four able to wrap their arms around Tyrone Thomas and stop him for a short gain. They'll call it 2nd down and 5, maybe 2nd and 6. Probably just one more play before we hit the 2-minute timeout. Shaw will keep it on the option. Has the chance to pitch and will not. He'll be stopped short of the line to gain, but not by much. Maybe it's enough for a first down. Are they going to give it to him? Looks like they are. So it'll be first down at the 38 when we come back from the 2-minute timeout here on the Zap Network. It's a good one at Choctaw. Don't go anywhere.
This broadcast is the intellectual property of Zach Arnold Productions. Any use of their multimedia, including audio, video, images, and other content, may not be repurposed without prior express consent of Zach Arnold Productions. We thank you for your cooperation and for tuning in to tonight's broadcast. John Wade Roofing is celebrating 40 years serving the Arlington area. John Sr. played for Colt football and was the team MVP in '76. He went on to play for TCU, earning all conference honors. The family has a Colt legacy that spans generations and wants to help your family's roofing needs, plus gutters, painting, solar, and more. For more information, go to johnwaderoofing.com.
Back to live action here with a 31-28 ball game. Vikings with possession and a first down and all 3 of their timeouts. With the explosive nature of both teams, there's still a lot of football left to play before we head to the locker rooms. Jot Holly working on some troubleshooting as Pops the producer tries to keep an eye on things. We appreciate everyone's patience as we navigate the newness of this situation. Try to keep you apprised, and then if we need to bring back the scoreboard, we will. 2-minute timeout, freshly out, man in motion for the Vikes. Shaw looking for the deep ball. He's got one-on-one coverage. Pruitt to the near side, and here comes the pass interference flag. He did not play the ball. They were looking for it to be mutual pushing as Kyle Smith, number 12, is going to get hit with the infraction. He never turned around to look for it, and that'll be a fresh 15 for the Vikes. Update all of this information here as we were counting on Choctaw. So that is a 28. That is a 31 and counting. As the second quarter brings us some more high-flying action. Spin move out of a tackle there. Another shifty run by number 21, Caden Hall. 31-28 the score. Neither team taking a timeout yet. Two to the right, one to the left. 2nd down and short. Clock has stopped as Shaw looks for the out route. It's not there. Trying to get away from pressure and cannot. He's dropped back at the 42. And one of the Lamar offensive linemen with some pretty serious contact as he'll head back to the sidelines. Actually, that's the senior tight end, Brady Oston, grabbing his arm. And it'll bring up 3rd down and 6 as the clock rolls. 1:15 to go until halftime. Lamar looking for a few more points before the break if they can. Shaw back to pass. It's a dangerous throw, but it's caught for a first down just around the 35-yard line. And it looks like we've got a reconnection here to Choctaw as we get the clock showing back up again. And it goes back down again.
It's the in a technical term, it's the connection. So somebody's connection somewhere along the way is knocking out ours. The technical term. But since
Technical difficulties is the best way to put it.
but it's an easy fix. That's why we have things hardwired. But that's for a future reference.
That's for a future game when
Yes.
we actually have hard wires to use.
But for the last 30 seconds of the first half, we will do it
We'll do it the
Old school
old-fashioned
way.
way. We'll unhide everything again. We'll take a look at who took that timeout. Somebody stopped the clock. I would imagine it's Lamar.
Just want to throw an input out there. The pass interference, hey, I understand. Corner didn't turn around. There was a holding on the next play by the Vikings that was uncalled. Just, from the third eye of the referee in the sky. Sometimes you have to give it where you can take it, and there's a holding. As a former offensive lineman, I see a holding when it happens. But it's benefiting Lamar. They haven't had any penalties this game. Bowie is a very penalized team this season already, and they are adding to that number tonight.
Ball at the 36-yard line. I would imagine Lamar's the team that took the timeout. We've changed it to 2 left for them for the time being, as another dangerous throw is almost picked off.
That was a good jump there on the outside to prevent the receiver from catching the ball in. If you're Bowie, you got 26 seconds left. You can hold the Vikings to at most 3. At most 3. You get the ball back at halftime down 1 possession.
If it's 34-28 or 31-28, I think Coach Sam is very content to go to the locker room with that.
If you're Bowie, you have to worry about having so much one-on-one coverage because you have one-on-one coverage at the bottom of the screen. So be careful there. You don't get burned deep.
Man in motion puts 3 on the left-hand side. Shaw's rolling that way under unbelievable pressure, and they finally get to him. Great pursuit there by the Bowie defense, including number 6, Galatian Pagagofi.
Good job by Pagagofi. He knew he kept his eyes on the quarterback, make sure Shaw was not going to get any room with his yards or find a way to get a first down with his arm.
16 seconds remaining on the clock. And another timeout is taken with a 3rd and long situation. I don't think that Lamar is anywhere near their field goal range. I think they need at least the 30 or the 25 to even be sniffing field goal range. Are you looking at setting yourself up for a more manageable passing play on this 3rd down and long here?
Since this is high school, not college, obviously you don't have a kicker that can kick 50 to 60 yards. One school in the district might. I don't know if Lamar has that kicker. So if it was me, I'm Coach Skinner, I am wanting to either set myself up for a big passing play on 4th down, or I'm taking 2 shots at the end zone where you need 16 yards for the first down. You've already connected on a deep pass, and you've had the pass interference on this drive on a deep pass. So watch out for the deep post here. You have one-on-one coverage down the line with the offense being spread out like it is.
4 receivers, 3 out wide to the right. Number 1, Pruitt, all by himself to the left.
The other fear is when you have 5 wide spread out or 4 wide in this example, somebody's got to keep an eye on a mobile quarterback. So Pagagofi should be the guy spying the quarterback to make sure he doesn't get anywhere near the first down marker.
Shaw back to pass, looking Pruitt's way, one-on-one coverage, and the safety able to slide over and break up the pass at the last possible second. Fantastic coverage by Princeton Campbell to force a 4th down.
Great coverage by Princeton Campbell. We were worried about the quarterback running. Good time to call a 6-man blitz there by Coach Sam There wasn't enough blockers there. Kyle Goffey got there on the backside and made that ball hard for Shaw to throw.
That will force a Lamar punt with 9 seconds to go. Bowie gets the ball out of the halftime break. You have to be thrilled if you're a Volunteer fan after the fast start that Lamar had, that they're only trailing by 3. Third and final timeout taken by the Vikings. They have none as we get ready to go to the break. Fans, a reminder to stay tuned for the halftime festivities here at Choctaw Stadium. We'll have some stats from this ball game and any scores that are applicable for this Thursday night action. And some thoughts on what kind of halftime adjustments each team might be making. All of that on the Taqueria Taco Express halftime show coming up in just a little while.
Great job there by Bowie. Get a stand. You've given up yardage. There was the pass interference. You made a stand there, and now it's 4th down. You're going to hold them to no points as long as there's not a fake here on 4th down. And you're going to go into halftime, getting the ball back, just down by 3. You can make the second half a whole new ball game. Don't touch it. If you're going to go for the block, don't touch it. Let the ball roll into the end zone. Let the time go off the clock, and keep any type of damage from happening.
Bowie is playing back to anticipate the fake, but it is cleanly away. And it will bounce sideways out of bounds with 1 second on the clock. Bowie will have to do something there.
Hey, Zach, this is Pops. I want to give a Taqueria Taco Express update.
An update.
Their newest location on the southwest corner of Collins and Arkansas and Arlington is now hiring.
Oh, man.
Any day now, they'll be open. Just wanted to throw that in there.
Our reader is out of date because we were originally talking about their new location in Mansfield that's getting set to open soon. And then we find out about this new location that they're opening at Collins and Arkansas. And so I believe it's a 7th location that's coming up now. We're going to need to get a graphic with all of the addresses on it so that everybody knows exactly where to find some of the best tacos in Arlington. Bowie will take a knee to get rid of that 1 pesky second that's on the clock. And they're going to have to wait a second to do it. I believe there was a flag on the play. Or maybe they weren't ready for play yet. Substitution infraction. That's the end of the first half. Lamar is just going to decline the penalty and will go to the break. John, it's been a high-flying first half. 31-28 the score. And the first one to 50, first one to 60 may end up coming out on top.
First one to 50. Both teams are going to go in there and make halftime adjustments, how to stop the other. If you're Bowie, the biggest adjustment you need to make is figuring out the run game. If you're Lamar, you got to continue doing what you're doing. We'll figure out the other side of this halftime.
We'll keep it here at midfield at Choctaw Stadium. Maybe have a halftime interview with Coach Sam if I remembered to load that interview. We did a lot of other pregame stuff, but didn't do that. So we'll take a little bit of a break on the headsets and turn up the microphone and be back with the Taqueria Taco Express halftime show in just a little bit. Thanks so much for tuning in.
Enjoy the performance by the Bowie Volunteer Band here at halftime, dressed up in their Halloween outfits, and the Bowie Bells right before that. We're going to switch now to a coach conversation with Bowie High School football coach, Coach Sam. I hope you enjoy the visit with Coach Sam here at halftime. We'll be back with the Taqueria Taco Express halftime show right after the coaches talk with Coach Joseph Sam.
2025 football season is upon us, and I'm here with Bowie head coach Joseph Sam. Do you go by Joe Sam or Joseph Sam? Does it depend on if you're friends with them or not?
Yeah, most people only call me by my first name. Either they don't know me or I'm in trouble. So
okay, I'm that way too. I go by Zach, but if I'm in trouble, my mom calls me Zachary. Yeah. So I get it. Coach, now it's time for some of the more fun questions, and we actually had a couple that were submitted by other people. So some of these aren't going to be just my questions; they're going to be coming in from across the board. But one of my favorites to ask is if you have any pregame meals or any pregame rituals that you like to do on game day.
Honestly, I only have one. Really two. And they're, yeah. I'm not really like got to listen to the same music. I'm not into I got to eat the same thing. But I have to take a nap before every game.
Okay.
I'm like a power napper.
Okay.
It just helps get my mind into the flow.
Sure.
And then the other thing is I have, for some reason, right before every game, I got to go use the restroom.
Okay.
That's it.
As a broadcaster, I feel that, because once the game gets started, you can't be like Lamar did and just go off for a series, because you gotta head back to the locker room. So
Absolutely.
I get it. I get it.
I would say those two, and I like to pray before. Well, and the third one is I like to pray before every game. I know most people see me take a quick kneel, and I just like to say a quick prayer before every game. And so I would say those are the three biggest things. Because obviously I love coaching, but coaching is not who I am. It's just what I do.
Sure. So. With the meals thing, though, obviously football can take a lot out of you.
Yeah.
And when you're done and everybody's gone home for the night after a really long football game, there's not a whole lot of places open. Do you stop at any drive-thrus on the way home? Or
I stop every time. Now, that is a ritual. Now, this one is a ritual.
Okay.
So I do go to Whataburger.
Well, unfortunately, technical difficulties preventing us from having a clear conversation with Coach Sam. We will keep it here with Lamar Band's senior festivities as we continue to compile stats and be back shortly with the thoughts and analysis on this first half presented by Taqueria Taco Express. Again, a lot of new and experimental components on display here this evening, and certain things maybe take their toll, and we appreciate everyone's patience as we continue to experiment with some new and exciting features, and sometimes it comes at the expense of some other features. But whether you're cheering for Bowie or cheering for Lamar, we appreciate you tuning in, and we'll be back in just a little while. While Jot continues to have some fun with the behind-the-scenes stuff, Pops is thrown on the headset for the Taqueria Taco Express halftime show. It'll be an abbreviated one as the teams have taken the field. And a reminder, fans, that Taqueria Taco Express can solve any Mexican food craving with 5 locations currently open and a 6th and 7th getting ready to open soon. You can solve your Mexican food cravings easier than ever before. Visit them on Taco Tuesday for their taco special. 5 of those tacos and a large agua fresca for just $10. Pops, you've been watching and observing the game just a little bit more behind the scenes than what you're used to. What have been your thoughts on this first half of play?
Well, I'm hoping that maybe both teams went into the locker rooms and suited up their defenses to bring them back out here for the second half. This has been an explosive ball game.
It has indeed. According to the Dallas Morning News, over 500, almost 600 combined yards of offense in the first half alone. 246 for the Bowie Volunteers, including 155 through the air on 15 of 17 passing from Jaden Bibbs. He's been kind of carrying this offense with 2 touchdown passes, and Ponder with 2 touchdown runs as well for the Vols. And they find themselves trailing only by 3 in spite of the defense giving up 249 yards on the ground.
Yeah, it's been a fun game if you like offense, and there have been some great plays. Lamar's had some long, deep passes that have just been electric, and Bowie has ground out a couple of touchdowns. I loved watching that one on the right side of the field heading towards the old home run porch here where Ponder walked it in. It's just been a fun ball game to watch in the back and forth. And like we mentioned at the beginning of the ball game, Bowie won the toss at the beginning, and they get to start with the ball here to open up the second half of play.
Lamar with a deep drive over the head of everybody, and this will go into the end zone. And Jaden Bibbs will come out with the offense. 15 of 17 for 155 yards, 7 carries for 76 yards, and a couple of scores for Ponder. A very evenly distributed first half as Osunde Brown with the most receiving yards, 79 yards on 3 catches. 4 catches for 42 yards for Mad Max Nichols, and a score for number 7. On the other side, number 20, Thomas, has been on a tear. 10 carries for 183 yards and 2 touchdowns, Pops. The Bowie defense needs to find a way to contain him if they're going to mount a rally in this second half.
Absolutely. Zach, we'd like to remind all the fans that the third quarter was brought to you by the folks at 1836 Home Inspections. Texans don't cut corners, and neither does 1836 Home Inspections. When it's your home on the line, you need everything checked from roof to slab, inside and out. 1836 provides a Texas-owned, Texas-honest approach to find what others may miss while offering sewer and septic line inspections, thermal imaging, and 11-month warranty checks. We're going to step aside here for this play, and I'll finish this reader.
Second down and 9 as Bibbs is back to pass again. Goes to the middle. Ferguson.
Nice catch.
Is going to be credited with an incompletion, says the head linesman on the opposite side of the field. In and out of the breadbasket as it hits the turf.
So with 1836 Home Inspections, don't gamble with your biggest investment. Call 1836 to feel at peace with your choice. 817-382-2111. The third quarter brought to you by 1836 Home Inspections.
Third down and 9 for this first drive of the third quarter. Bibbs rolling to his left, got a blocker, now needs to take off and run, and he's going to get swallowed up in the backfield. Jaden Bibbs took a little too long to decide whether he was going to scramble forward or not, and the Lamar defense able to force a 3 and out to hold on to that 3-point advantage.
Looks like Lamar found their defense coming out of the second half here. A good stop there by the Lamar defense and forcing this punt here. The Lamar receiver standing about his own 40-yard line. Lamar's going to come out with good field position on their first drive.
Pau Gofia with a decent kick that'll bounce at midfield, but it'll have to take a little bit of a Bowie roll as Ferguson will field it at the 44, and that's where Lamar's first drive will start this third quarter. We'll keep it here as Lamar gets ready for their first possession of the second half. Looks as if our transmitter finally decided it was done transmitting for the night, Jot.
It was done transmitting. It made up its mind to transmit to somebody else's camera. It's still linking, but hey, that's technical things that are above my pay grade sometimes.
We will make sure to have a hard line for the next time we come out to Choctaw Stadium. It is a feature that is accessible to us. We just didn't have quite the right equipment that we were hoping for. Lucky for us, we have the John Wade Zap Cam and the awesome Daniel Castagna here to provide a single camera support. He's a senior at UT Arlington, and we're super grateful to have him and all of our interns. We're going to have Cameron Wilcox and our newest intern, Chaz, helping us out on tomorrow night's senior night for Arlington High versus Grand Prairie.
Both interns, the TCC students at the Northeast campus, both studying broadcast under radio, television, and film, and they're good students to have. I've had a chance to come across them multiple times, and hey, that's one benefit of being an adjunct at TCC.
Jonathan Mosley is one of our other interns who's been helping us out, and then our regular staff as this completion goes for a first down includes you, of course, Judd. It includes Pops. My mom Patsy helps out. My wife Edna helped out. Tim Costello has been on the call for several games this season. We're hoping to have him back for the playoffs if we can get two teams to make it to the postseason. A lot of that being determined here tonight. If Lamar wins and Arlington wins out, then the Colts have an opportunity to make it to the postseason. So the Colt faithful are Viking fans for this night and this night only. Thought a Bowie defender might have lined up in the neutral zone. They do get a good jump, and this tackle will be behind the line of scrimmage. One of the first TFLs I've been able to call for the Bowie defense this evening. A loss of 1 on that carry.
That was number 11, Haynes. Kind of looked like he lined up, like you said, in the neutral zone. No encroachment called. He did a good jump as well on the left side of that line. Good job chasing down to get a tackle for a loss.
Some of the other intangibles that we didn't get to talk about during the halftime show. Bowie has been penalized 3 times for 45 yards of field position, so each one of those a 15-yarder. Lamar has been penalized just once for 5 yards, but they do have the game's only turnover, which Bowie was able to turn into 7 points. Man in motion, Shaw looking that direction. It's underthrown and picked off at the 21. Bowie's taking it the other way, and he's got some blockers. All the way up to the 46-yard line. That's number 5, Princeton Campbell, forcing the second turnover of the game and giving Bowie great field position.
Good job by Campbell doing a good job getting under that ball. Shaw had lobbed it up like a duck. Campbell saw it like a fair catch and took off running. Good job. Now they get the ball in field position.
Second turnover of the game. Both of them in favor of Bowie, and they get it back with 8:17 to go here in the third. We'll keep it here at Choctaw Stadium, as both of these teams really like to break the huddle pretty quickly when there's a change of possession. We'll do our best to get ourselves caught up on commercials as we are able. We have a lot of wonderful partners, and we want to give them their dues as best we can, but not while sacrificing live game action here. Still the same score that it was when we came out of halftime, 4 minutes into the third period. And it's a 3-point advantage. Bowie with a little bit of a spark as Bibbs goes play action. Got a pocket. Now he's going to take off and run. Good decision there by Bibbs. The pass was not open, and he didn't panic, and he'll take off for 9 on that play.
Good decision by Bibbs not to panic. He did have one-on-one coverage, though, on the bottom of your screen. Yeah, at the very top of your screen, you see Nichols by himself. So eventually, Bibbs is going to have to release that ball, but good job by the offensive line to create a pocket. Good 9-yard scramble.
Second down and short as the play call comes in from the far sideline. 20 on the play clock. Another diamond out to the right-hand side. Bibbs will go that direction, and it's a tunnel screen for first down yardage and then some as Mad Max takes it deeper into enemy territory all the way down to the 36.
Max already eclipsing the 1,000-yard mark on the season as a wide receiver. He got that back in the first half. Now he's just adding to that stat total.
Came in with 983 and 10 touchdowns. He's now over 1,000 with 11 scores on the season. Coming into tonight's game, he was the #1 receiver as far as receiving yards for 6A in DFW. And as you said, he continues to pad it with these swing passes. And I like this play call. Get it to your playmaker, get it in space, get it out of the hands of your quarterback who's been under pressure all evening. It's a good play call, and it's leading to positive yards.
What it does, it does put a halt to the blitz. He's been blitzed all night. Bibbs has under pressure. The offensive line this drive with the swing passes, the short passes on the outs. It's getting the ball, like you said, out to Mad Max. He's not under pressure, not feeling it, and now you can try to open up for a deep shot. They're playing very shallow now, back in the secondary.
Somebody jumped, and this will be the first 5-yarder issued against the Volunteers, but it is their 4th penalty of the evening.
As you keep getting those bubble screens out for Mad Max and a Sunday Brown on the other side, the safeties are creeping up. Lamar has ran a single high safety most of the night, but now they're dropping the second safety back, but they're only playing 5 to 8 yards deep. Eventually, Max or a Sunday Brown, somebody can get open with their speed, hit them on a post or a fly, and that's a touchdown. And then that puts that in the back of your mind. If you're Lamar, the deep shot's there. Everything's open.
According to the Dallas Morning News, Osunde Brown is the number 10 wideout. So you've got the #1 receiver in DFW and the number 10 wide receiver in DFW in your arsenal. Jaden Bibbs with a lot of options as he takes it off up the middle here. Designed quarterback draw to take it into the red zone before he's finally escorted out of bounds.
Good job. Good play call there by the coaches at Bowie. You saw that the defense was looking for Mad Max to catch it on a swing again. Left the middle of the field wide open. Their linebackers aren't anywhere to cover. Nobody's containing Bibbs. First down.
Even the weak side linebacker shifted to the swing pass opportunity, and it created a big hole on that left-hand side for Bibbs to run through.
And now the safeties are still 5 yards. They're creeping up. You have the spot over. You have one-on-one coverage at the top of your screen. At the bottom where the diamond's at, it's 4-on-3, but there's a lot of space in there in the back if you find a receiver open.
Bibbs looking right. Now going to take off and run. Got to outrun one man. He gets the corner, gets to the 5, and gets out of bounds. 1st and goal, Volunteers.
Same thing. Everybody's looking for that pass there. Bibbs is able to run up the middle. Offensive line doing a very good job on this drive, and Bibbs is using his legs, finding the holes that the offensive line is creating. And by the way they're spacing the defense out, he's back-to-back plays, 1st down.
8 minutes exactly remaining on this 3rd quarter clock. Bowie looking for their first lead of the night. 1st and goal from the 5. 2 receivers back there. Now one of them in motion. Ponder will get the handoff to the left side. Ponder's in for the touchdown. Bowie takes the lead. That's Ponder's 3rd touchdown of the night, and it puts the Vols in front for the first time this evening.
Good play call there. Give the ball to Ponder. He's a very good running back, looking for his cutback. He found it right behind the left tackle, walked on in for 6.
The ever-important extra point to make it a 4-point game where Lamar can only get back in front with a touchdown. Espindola's kick is up, and it is good. Your new score, the Volunteers take the lead in the 3rd. It's 35-31. We'll be back right after this.
A-frames that bring their A game. The next time you need to get your brand out to the community, go with the printers who are in your community, Ika Signs. With everything from wall signs to banners, printed tees to hats, Ika can even do same-day rush orders on select products. Visit ikasigns.com/shop to see their full list. That's ikasigns.com/shop. Ika Signs, a partner of Zach Arnold Productions.
John Wade Roofing is celebrating 40 years serving the Arlington area. John Sr. played for Colt football and was the team MVP in '76. He went on to play for TCU, earning all conference honors. The family has a Colt legacy that spans generations and wants to help your family's roofing needs, plus gutters, painting, solar, and more. For more information, go to johnwaderoofing.com.
Back to Choctaw Stadium here for a big district tilt. 5:55 to go in the 3rd. 66 combined points, and we've still got a lot of football left to play. After getting the interception, Bowie able to get another touchdown off of a Viking mistake. And Espindola will send this end over end just in to the 30-yard line. And that's where Jaden Shaw and company will take over. Shaw was 6 of 8 for just 75 yards in that first half through the air, but it didn't matter much as he was able to make 2 of those completions go for touchdowns. And his backfield mate Thomas was on a tear, averaging 18 yards per carry. You heard that right. 10 runs for 183 yards and 2 scores for number 20 in that first half. So we'll see if 20 gets his number called again, as it's a jumbo package for the Vikings. 20 does get the call, and the Bowie front 7 able to answer the call as Princeton Campbell comes up from the safety position after a pickup of about 6. Pickup of about 6. Almost an offside call as Bowie was trying to keep up with Pruitt as best they could. It'll be a handoff up the middle, and it'll be enough for a Lamar first down. Looks like a official's timeout for a young man who is slow to get up. We'll take a break and be back right after this on the Zap Network.
Are you a small business owner looking for reliable insurance coverage? Or perhaps you're navigating the complexities of Medicare? Look no further. Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services is a family-owned, independent insurance agency with over 50 years of experience with tailored insurance solutions for small businesses and their owners. Whether you need home and auto, business insurance, or individual or group medical, Chapman Cornelius has knowledgeable agents who will help you select just what you need. Call April Chapman or Jason Ott at 817-265-3346.
Welcome back to Choctaw Stadium. The Bowie defender able to get off and head to the sideline under his own power. And it'll be first down yardage for the Vikings at the 37. Shaw will hand it off again, and it'll go across the 40. The Viking offensive line doing a lot of good work there as Caden Hall comes in to spell Tyrone Thomas, and he gets some pretty positive yards up the middle. They'll call it a gain of 5, second down and 5 now.
Bowie's defense starting to do like Lamar's, where they're creeping up towards the line of scrimmage.
They'll go underneath. Pruitt with it. Cross midfield. He's got 5 or 6 white jerseys trying to get him down. And the best they can do is get him out of bounds after he picks up another fresh set of downs.
Yeah, that first man he made miss was just a weight room broken tackle. Pruitt's been on fire all night. The Vikings are going to keep looking for him if they want to get back in this game for a win.
4 catches, 2 touchdowns in the first half. Doesn't get much more efficient than that. And it looks like Lamar will get called for a false start.
Bowie had a man running far atop of your screen, didn't make it off in time.
Maybe they were, there's no flag. I think they were just giving everybody time to substitute. They're going to leave it 1st and 10 at the 45. I guess that's one way to do it. Lamar opting for the jumbo package. 3 tight ends. Pruitt by himself to the left. Handoff up the middle. Positive yards. Jot, this looks like a halftime adjustment. They know that the running game is working for them, and so they're just going to keep running until Bowie makes them prove that they can't do it anymore.
And Bowie is doing what you would think would be the smart thing by bringing their safe secondary up to have everybody within 5 to 8 yards of the ball line of scrimmage. Be careful, though, for a Pruitt deep shot. You're already seeing one of those in the first half, but this is a good adjustment by both Lamar and Bowie this half.
It's a curl route to Pruitt. Get it to him in space, and he gets another first down. The defense is crowding the box, and it's leaving Pruitt in one-on-one coverage. So if Bowie tries to play the run, it leaves the wideout unguarded. And right now, there's nobody covering Pruitt. Now he shifts over. Handoff, right side. He's got the corner. They're going to give him the 10-yard line. And that's Zion Johnson on the carry for the Vikes to make it 1st and goal.
Johnson, more of a change of pace back there, had good speed, got to the outside. Nobody had edge contained for the Volunteers, and Johnson took advantage of it.
Shaw gives it to Johnson again to the right-hand side, and this time Bowie able to read it for a tackle for loss.
Yeah, Castile made sure he laid the lick on Johnson. Make sure he wasn't going to get anywhere, any extra yards.
Castile drawing interest from D1 schools. Currently got the University of Houston on his radar. Looking to be a Coug when he graduates. 2nd down, Shaw going underneath. It's caught inside the 5 and down to about the 3-yard line. That's number 15 on the catch, Jakari Martin, the junior wideout. Gets the Vikings a little bit closer to pay dirt. 3rd down and goal now from the 5. Bowie just took the lead, trying to find a way to hold on to it. Handoff, stutter step, goal line. Touchdown, Vikings.
He made a good stutter step outside, froze the defensive end, and found a cutback lane there. Defensive end had good contain for the Volunteers, but just good speed by the running back from the Vikings for that little stutter step and cut back right back up the middle.
Tyrone Thomas in for his 3rd score of the evening to put the Vikings back in front. 1:36 to go here in the 3rd quarter. And it continues to be a back and forth affair here at Choctaw. Quite possibly the most exciting game in all of DFW. I tried to take a look at some of the Dave Campbell scores, which we'll provide in a little bit. Right now, this is the game to watch. Stick around. We've got a little more high school football on ZAP presented by John Wade Roofing when we come back.
Taqueria Taco Express is the official taqueria of Zach Arnold Productions, with locations in Arlington, Grand Prairie, Waxahachie, and a new location opening in Mansfield. Solving your Mexican food craving has never been easier. Visit them on Taco Tuesdays for their special 5 tacos and a large agua fresca for just $10. Find out more by visiting taqueriatacoexpress.com.
Modern West Windows and Doors is a partner of the ZAP network. They're also partnered with trusted industry leaders like Lowen, Weather Shield, and Simpas to guarantee quality product and installation. Whether you're searching for new concepts for your entryway, living room, dining room, bedroom, or even a workshop, Modern West has the solutions you're looking for. Visit the showroom at 1211 6th Avenue in Fort Worth or visit modernwestwindows.com.
Welcome back to Choctaw Stadium. Lamar takes the lead by 3. Bowie looking to answer. Jod, I think that first 1 to 50 may end up proving true after all. This one fielded at the near sideline, trying to take it back to the middle. Across the 30, got a little running room. And Bowie will have excellent field position near midfield as a Lamar player is slow to get up. While they tend to him, we'll take a short break and be back with more high school football on ZAP after this.
Need a cleanup that's easier than finding your seat on game day? Trinity Logistics Services has you covered. Whether it's your home or your business, Trinity will drop off and pick up the dumpster. No hassle, no mess. Founded by Arlington's own Chet Soto, class of '97, Trinity Logistics Services is proud to serve their hometown. Call 817-693-1302 and let's tackle your next project together.
Little bit of assistance for the Lamar special teamer as he makes his way to the sidelines. That's number 38, Deskin Robinson, listed as a junior linebacker
able to make his way back with a little bit of help from the training staff. And it'll be first down almost exactly at midfield for the Volunteers. Handoff, crossing midfield and getting wrapped up after a marginal gain. Looks like Ponder on the carry.
Interesting formation they came out. They came out in a 2-back shotgun set, trying to get some run game going. The last drive, they had spread everybody out on the defense to where nobody was in the middle of the field. So it's an interesting approach here for this drive, starting at basically ending the third quarter.
Maybe looking for a little more misdirection as Bibbs with the play action. He wanted the wheel route. It wasn't there. Flag is down in the area of holding, and Bibbs will just throw it away. 49 seconds to go in the period.
He had the wheel route. He just didn't have the time, and now there's going to be a holding on the back side of the line. That's going to set you back 15 to make it a very, very long second down.
Second and 15 instead of 3rd and 5. And it puts you back on your side of the 50. Back to the 43 they go.
And they're going to go back to the single person in the backfield formation there. So they probably have a tight end in. They went ahead and got away from that split backs. One-on-one coverage at the very bottom of your screen. Mad Max by himself.
Bibbs looking left. Thrown across the middle. Deflected in the direction of the tight end, Tennyson. And it will be incomplete to bring up 3rd down. The defender covering Tennyson had his arms wrapped all around him. But unfortunately, Jot, when a pass gets deflected, you can no longer call pass interference for anything that comes after it. So 3rd down and long now for the Volunteers as we come up on very nearly the end of the 3rd quarter of play. Bibbs looking to pass, pump fake, got a pocket, running out of time. He's going to take off and run. He's across midfield. He's to the 40, spins out of a tackle. It's a first down and more. Jaden Bibbs moves the sticks into the 30.
Was that Cam Newton running the ball? He took two Vikings
He's
with
wearing
him.
a number 2. Tried to go with the body tackle, and he just bounces right off of him before he finally gets wrapped up at the 27.
That's when the coach talks about doing everything you can to keep the drive alive. Bibbs did that, ran over a man, fought hard for the first down, and now the Volunteers are back on the Viking side of the 50.
Last play of the 3rd quarter coming up right here. 10 on the play clock. The underneath pass is complete, and it's a first down as Ponder gets it to about the 15-yard line, and that'll be the final play of the 3rd quarter. To the 4th we go. Vikings in front by 3. Well, the Volunteers are threatening. Stick around. We've got a fun final 12 minutes of action here on the Zap Network when we come back. Looking for the most unique gift for your student or athlete? Local Legends Figures has you covered. The custom 6-inch figures are designed with you and your legend in mind. They even immortalize yours truly with a custom, never-before-used model to create a Zach the Voice figure for my 30th birthday. Huge thanks to our friends at Local Legends Figures. See pricing and place orders at locallegendsfigures.com.
Las albercas en Texas necesitan servicios durante todo el año. Romy Pools brinda servicios de calidad, incluyendo limpieza, mantenimiento y reparaciones. Llama al número 469-951-0107 para una consulta gratuita y pregunta por Roberto. Romy Pools, haremos que te enamores de tu alberca de nuevo.
The 4th quarter is presented by Modern West Windows and Doors. See the difference their portfolio can make on your home by visiting their showroom at 1211 6th Avenue in Fort Worth or by going to modernwestwindows.com to explore their inventory. Alongside Jot Holly, I'm Zach Arnold, bringing you what is likely the district and area game of the week. There's another game taking place on the CW network tonight, Jot, between the North Mesquite Mustangs, or is it Stallions, and the WTY Longhorns. The winner goes to the postseason. The loser does not. So the CW's probably got another pretty good game going on over there. Last I saw, it was tied at 16 apiece. But if you're a fan of the Big 12, if you're a fan of offense, this is the game to watch.
Yeah, being this is Big 12 country with TCU and Texas Tech here, we have a chance to see high-powered offense.
Fumble on the exchange. Ponder just picks it up and tries to get back to the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard or two, but Bowie retains possession.
That's something that the Volunteers have struggled with all year. Back to the Flower Mound game, we had a moment like that last week. Just a simple handoff from Bibbs to Ponder. I don't know if Bibbs wants to pull it or if he's just putting it too far into Ponder's belly, but they've had multiple moments this season that they've lost the ball on a fumble and have got lucky to recover it a few different times.
Just barely in Espindola's field goal range, but you know they're thinking about 6 as this one comes out and hits the turf. Another zone read opportunity and another miscommunicated exchange. And back-to-back muffed exchanges brings up a 3rd and long for Bowie.
Earlier in the season, it was Ponder who did it versus Flower Mound. The last 2 plays here is Bibbs on the read option. He's sticking it, but he's also looking at where he's reading the defensive end. He has to pull that ball back out quicker because Ponder's going to take off running. You can't stop the man in motion. It's a good job to fall on the ball back-to-back plays, but now you're at 3rd and 17 instead of 3rd and 10.
Ponder in motion, 3 men to the right. He's looking left, throwing left, and it is gonna pass interference. I was about to say it's gonna be incomplete, and then a big yellow flag came out to put some mustard on the lettuce. It's a defensive hold, but it will result in a fresh set of downs for Bowie.
And that's one of the things that Bibbs hasn't had a chance to do much. Sunday Brown and Mad Max have been one-on-one coverage most of the night. He just hadn't had time to look over. He found it there. Good job to get the ball to Mad Max, and pass interference gives you a free 1st down.
And the Bowie faithful can breathe a sigh of relief as instead of thinking about do we go for it on 4th or try to kick a long field goal, the defensive penalty will bring it very, very close to the 10-yard line, maybe just outside of it at about the 10.5. So it is a 1st down, but it is a 1st and 10 from the 11, more or less. Bibbs throwing to the right-hand side. Corner, trying to get the pylon, can't quite get there. But Bowie inching ever closer to reclaiming the lead after that pitch and catch.
Sunday Brown on that double stack to the field side of the play. He had a good block in front of him, made do with what he had. Now you're looking at 2nd and short, knocking on the door to take the lead back over again.
Pagofia comes back in for the Bowie jumbo package. He's joined there by Don Rivas. A couple of linebackers looking to try to find a way to help Bowie punch it in.
Keep an eye on Max by himself, one-on-one at the bottom of your screen. You might see a fade here.
Ponder's got it. He's got a crease. Dropped at the 1-yard line. Touchdown saving tackle by Zion Johnson coming up from the linebacker position, but it is a 1st and goal as Bowie is quick to the line. Go to Ponder again. He goes to the left side again. Sheds 1 tackle, but not the next. First one there on the attack was the junior defensive lineman, Adrian Davis, and Big 88 forces a 2nd and goal from the 2.
And this is where in high school they don't teach you to get under center. When you need just a yard or 2, you get under center, QB sneak it there. It's a guaranteed 1st down, guaranteed yard.
There's a Lamar player down while they tend to him. We'll take a break and be back in 30 seconds here on Zap.
Taquería Taco Express es la taquería oficial de Zach Arnold Productions. Con un amplio y auténtico menú, satisface tus antojos o prepara tu próximo evento con nosotros. Visítanos todos los martes para disfrutar de Taco Tuesday con 5 tacos y un agua fresca por solo $10. Para encontrar sucursales cercanas o hacer pedidos en línea, visita taqueriatacoexpress.com.
After taking a look at his leg, the training staff determines that it's okay to get Zion Johnson up from the turf, and he's able to trot to the sidelines on his own power. Lamar looking to make a big stand here deep in their own red zone. They lead 38-35.
I wonder how
as
much
the clock rolls under 10 minutes to go in regulation.
I wonder how much practicing of a QB sneak that you do in high school. I know when you're a shotgun team, you don't do it very often.
Bibbs out of the gun. RPO underneath. Caught! Tennyson! Touchdown! Volunteers!
Came out in the split back set like Tennyson scored on earlier. It leaks out, finds a spot in the flat, dives for the touchdown, and now the Volunteers are taking the lead with 9:30 left to go. Let's see if the defense can show up here on this next drive.
It continues to be a back and forth affair as Espindola comes on for the extra point. It'll be his 6th extra point attempt of the evening. He has been busy tonight. Good snap, good hold, and a good kick. Bowie's back in front by 4, but there's still a lot of ball left to play. Stick around. We'll be back with more high school football on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing after this.
John Wade Roofing has been serving the Arlington area since 1982, but the Wade legacy runs much deeper in the city of Arlington. A pioneer family that has had roots going back decades, John Wade and company saw relatives attend the Cooper Street Arlington High campus and has had members play in Colt athletics for decades, and they're looking forward to serving this community for decades to come. Find out more at johnwaderoofing.com.
Navigating Medicare options isn't easy. Hi, I'm Patsy Arnold, and when the time came to navigate my options, I went to Chapman Cornelius. They helped me find the best plan for my needs, quoted me life insurance options, and guided me in making my decisions every step of the way. They want to do the same for you, so give them a call at 817-265-3346 or visit chapman-cornelius.com.
Back to some high-flying action here at Choctaw Stadium. 9.5 minutes to go in regulation. I feel quite certain the scoring is not done yet. Fair catch will be called for at the 27-yard line. And that's where the Vikings will scrimmage, 1st and 10. Bowie has won the last 3 matchups, including last year a 49-21 finish. They're already 7 points away from tying that, 8 points away from eclipsing it. Edged out Lamar 31-29 in 2023, 56-13 win in 2022. The last Viking victory in this series dates back to 2021, a 62-49 final. Second down and short after that pickup.
Second straight play that the Vikings came out. Pruitt's one-on-one at the top of your screen. He's already burned the defense of the Volunteers deep, but the defense is playing more. It's tight compared to keeping an eye on the run. So watch out for a deep ball.
This one's underneath, and the head linesman says a catch. Now the umpire coming to confer. Coach Sam providing his insights, and they will reverse it. Incomplete, 3rd down.
And that play was all built by the pass rush of the Volunteers. They got in the face of Shaw. They made him underthrow the ball off his back foot. Now you brought up a 3rd down. It's 3rd and 9. If the Volunteers can get another stop here, they can get the offense back out to milk the clock and try to get a 2-score lead.
Big 3rd down here, possibly the biggest 3rd down of the night so far.
Pruitt's one-on-one again. The Volunteers have to be careful there. They've already been burned deep. Look for something like a curl, 5-10-yard curl to try to get close for a 1st down if Shaw doesn't take off running with it on his own self.
Pruitt is to the top of your screen. 3 receivers set to Shaw's right. Ready for play is signal. 3rd and 7. Pau Gofi under pressure. Shaw gonna go over the top. in and out of the hands of a wide open Kamorian Richmond.
Wow. To quote OTB, he sold on the bread. That was a wide open touchdown. The Vikings have looked for that. They haven't taken that deep shot since the first half. But as we've been saying, the Volunteers have been creeping up closer to the line of scrimmage there. No safeties were anywhere near the receivers at that point. They were all 5 to 10 yards of the line of scrimmage. Guys running wide open down the field. He dropped it. Now looking at fourth down. But the Volunteers got away with one.
They try to bring the pressure. It'll be an end-over-end kick that'll take a Viking roll, and they will let it continue to roll all the way down to the 20 and finally get down at the 18. So Bowie has the ball and the lead here in the fourth when we come back on Zap.
If you're like me and need printed materials to get your brand out there to the community, then you need Ika Signs. Conveniently located in central Arlington, Ika features a wide selection of shirts, hats, banners, yard signs, acrylics, magnets for your car, magnets for your fridge, tumblers, A-frames, and more. Call Ika at 817-617-2229 for more information and tell them Zap sent you.
Back to Choctaw Stadium with a 3-receiver set for Bibbs and company as they hand it off up the middle, and Ponder's got a crease. This could be trouble. He's trying to outrun one more man, 14 on 14, and finally Marquavion Gully catches up to him and brings him down from behind, but Bowie flips the field on a big run.
And we got to let you know the offensive line deserves a lot of credit. Ponder found the hole right on the left side between the guard and center and took off for 60.
Looks like Gully's going to need some tending to. We'll take a short break while they take a look at him.
From weekend cleanups to major projects, Trinity Logistics Services has the perfect fit for you. With dumpsters ranging from 10 all the way up to 30 feet, they handle both drop-off and pick-up so you can stay focused on cleaning up the win. Call 817-693-1302 today and let Trinity Logistics Services help you score big on convenience and efficiency.
Modern West Windows and Doors invites you to see the difference. Whether you need sliding doors, bay windows, or just need a more modern look, Modern West has options to fit both your style and budget. Stop by the showroom at 1211 6th Avenue in Fort Worth to see for yourself, or call 682-255-6094 for more information.
Back to Choctaw Stadium as the Volunteers confer about their next play. Ponder was off to the races on that one, and his 14 counterpart Gully was a little slow to get up after that chase down and tackle, Jot.
That's a good job by Gully. He's walking off the field, so give him a round of applause for getting up. He's able to walk off under his own power. He chased down Ponder. He was the only reason that the Bowie didn't score. But the offensive line there deserved a lot of credit. Ponder found the hole on the left side, took off on basically a halfback dive right behind the left guard, and that's what the Volunteers have needed all night. A lot of the big runs that came from Bibb. Ponder finally found a big run and took off for 60. So good job by Ponder. Good job by the Bowie Volunteer offensive line.
Everybody gets a breather. Bibbs drops it, looking to throw. It's going to be caught on the left side. Couple of downfield blockers and a solid pickup there. First time that we've called his name tonight, Aiden Rondon with the catch and run for the Volunteers to pick up 5.
Rondon last week had a big jump ball for about 40 yards against the Haltom, and he had made a lot of big crucial blocks. He's a bigger receiver, so he's out there for blocking on those swing passes to Sunday Brown, swing passes to Mad Max. But we finally get a chance to call his name, catching one in.
Ponder will get it up the middle, and he's going to get dropped at the line of scrimmage. Great tackle there at the point of attack by number 12, Justin Magruder. And the defensive back makes it third down for the Volunteers.
Just need 5 here for the Volunteers to keep the drive going. You've done a good job moving the ball down the field. I don't know if you want to put Espindola out there to kick what would be a 40-yard field goal at this range.
No, I think if you're Coach Sam, you're going for the jugular. And it'll be 5 yards tougher to do as one of the Bowie receivers, I think that was Rondon, jumped a little bit too early there.
Yeah, it looks like they might have went back for another bubble screen or some type of swing out to Sunday Brown or Max, and Rondon's in there for as a lead blocker. Just got too excited there. He knew the ball was coming his direction.
And now it's definitely 2-down territory as we approach 7 minutes to go. It officially hits 7 minutes in the fourth quarter. Outside of Espindola's field goal range, and you want to make it a 2-score game. Bibbs to his right, throwing underneath. It should be good enough for a first down, and it is. Bowie moves the chains and then some on that reception as everybody was playing the deep ball, and underneath, Ferguson with the tight end out to move the chains.
Big Brogy Ferguson, a big first baseman out there playing tight end. He did a good job getting the first down, found a spot in the flat. Nobody had an eye on him. First down, Volunteers.
You want to cover all these speedy receivers, and sometimes you forget about Big 87 going out there on the flat.
Would that be covering all your bases since he's a baseball player?
Covering your bases. There you go. To the 14-yard line as Pops reaches over trying to hit the mute button. Bibbs looking left. Under pressure, going to have to step up and just take the sack. He'll get dropped back to the 18-yard line. I think they were going for a quick throw. It wasn't there. And a Lamar Viking is going to be slow to get up here inside the 10-yard line. While they take a look at him, we'll take a look at another one of our sponsors and be back right after this.
Buying a vehicle can be overwhelming. That's why Yadi Pagan at Classic Chevrolet has created a guide to car buying to help ensure you make the right choice. Classic South has a great selection of pre-owned vehicles, and Yadi will put all his energy to make sure you get the best deal possible. Call 817-706-5679. Classic Chevrolet. Relax and enjoy the difference.
Number 6, Ja'Cory Ellis cramping up a little bit and is able to hop on one foot to the Vikings sidelines. Back to the 13-yard line. That was a bigger loss than I thought it was, Jod. It's going to be second down and long as we go under 6 minutes to go here in the fourth. Bibbs to pass. Going to have to take off. And he'll scramble back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be third down and long. Is this Espindola's field goal range?
In high school, I don't know if you want to kick it 40 yards or so. It's 2-down territory.
I think at this distance it would be about 35.
No, I don't. The way line drives him, sometimes you might not want to kick it 35. It's a 2-down territory because you can milk clock as much as possible.
Bibbs looking for Mad Max in one-on-one coverage, and it is broken up. Turning back to make a play on the ball for the Viking defense is number 26. That's London Siegel. And it looks like they will indeed bring out Espindola.
That one was a harder catch because Mad Max had to turn around and come back to it. It's one that you would like for him to make in that situation, especially with him being the top receiver, but it's still a hard catch for him to make. But you did everything you could, one-on-one coverage. Now you're looking at fourth down, and let's see if this is Espindola's range or not.
Officially about a 35-yarder from the right hash. Osunde Brown is the holder. And it looks like somebody
that tight end on the far side was very antsy.
Oh, they took too long to get it snapped.
It's a long kick. It takes a little while for Espindola to get lined up. Now you're looking at a
40-yarder. I don't know if this is in Espindola's range. From the right hash again, a 40-yard attempt for 99. Good hold. The kick is Good!
Get that man a bronze boot.
Espindola from 40 puts the Volunteers ahead by 7 with 5:08 to play. We'll be right back with a 7-point ball game on the Zap Network right after this.
PDA Advocacy Group would like to remind you that autism is a wide spectrum of neurological differences and it's on the rise, now affecting 1 in 36 Americans and more cases found in males. Those with autism have trouble with social interactions, communication, and can engage in repetitive or self-harming behaviors. While the causes of autism are still being researched, we can begin to learn more by visiting nationalautismassociation.org.
Jot, I've been watching high school football for years, been calling it since 2019, and the way Espindola kicks extra points, I did not see him making it from 40 yards out.
Sometimes that adrenaline kicks in and the steel toe just comes alive. That was a good kick there by Espindola. I was kind of fearful, but it worked out for him. Now the Volunteers have a 7-point lead.
Hey, and Bowie still has all of their timeouts. The best Lamar can do is tie at this point now, with it being a 7-point game. This completely changes the dynamics of how you play defense. If Lamar gets a score, then you know that you have to try to keep Bowie away from the 25, 30-yard line because Espindola's got the foot to win it on a walk-off if you need to. This one's a live ball that's going to get picked up at about the 20-yard line. Somebody on the up line called for the fair catch, which will kill the play. Since it was inside of the 25, I'm not sure if it will bring it to the 25-yard line or not. But there is 5 minutes and 6 seconds to go here in regulation. The Vikings need a touchdown to tie and a 2 to take the lead.
If you're the Volunteers, you saw on the last drive, the Vikings can take the deep shot. They've done it a few times now. The last one, the receiver sold on the pass and dropped it. That's what led to the 4th down. But now you can't play 5 to 8 yards deep. The bright side is knowing that that can happen. You can let your safety stretch out and make Lamar take the whole time to get down the field.
Shaw up the middle, and there's 4 white helmets there to make the stop. Pauagofia in there. Also in there, number 20, Marcus Green, the senior defensive back. No gain for Tyrone Thomas, which is not something we have said very much tonight.
And much like last week, taking care of Robinson, the Volunteers defensive line steps up in big moments after giving the big runs. Thomas has run over this defense all night. The front 4 finally stepped up to get a big stop. They need to do it again.
Will be under 4 minutes and 20 seconds when this ball is snapped. 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Shaw looking to that left. One-on-one coverage, lofting it up there, and a flag will be thrown.
That's a little bit different of a pass interference than the other one. There's no contact, but the corner didn't turn around.
Right.
Face guarding, but that ball was underthrown.
Marcus Green in on the coverage, but like you said, Jot, he wasn't able to turn around and look for the ball. And in that one-on-one coverage situation, the flag will be thrown. Another 15-yarder issued against Bowie. That's at least the 4th or 5th one tonight.
That's one of those things you can't have. Bowie's one of the most penalized teams in the district, and it continues to add on in big moments like that. Marcus Green had good coverage. He just has to turn around. The ball was underthrown. He could have picked it off if he just gets his head around.
This one's going to be a swing pass. It is caught behind the line. That's number 4, Kamarian Richmond, with the lateral reception. He'll pick up 2, and it'll be 2nd down and 8. 4 minutes to go in regulation. Lamar needs to play with a little bit of urgency if they want to force overtime.
Good job by Cedric Johnson coming up to keep the Richardson from getting anything else on that gain. Good, solid tackle. Held him to 2.
2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. A tight end in a slot formation. Shaw looking left, coming back right. Stepping up, stepping away, and he's got a little bit of greenery. Across midfield, Jaden Shaw looking for the sidelines, and he will take the steps out of bounds inside the 30 to move the chains.
Shaw used the speed there and got away. He passed Pauagofia. The defensive line over pursued on it, and the secondary is just too far down the field. Shaw did everything he could. That was just kind of a good play call They had a chance to get him in the backfield, but he's too quick.
3:33 to go in regulation. Lamar to the 39.
At this point, Paragofi needs to spy Shaw every play.
Handoff, right side, no gain. The Bowie front seven playing a lot tighter. Not allowing very much. Second down and 9 is what it'll say here.
Empty set for the Volunteers. Somebody's going deep.
Or possibly a draw. No, he's going one-on-one, and it will be incomplete. The Lamar coaching staff looking for a penalty, and there may be one back by the line of scrimmage.
Pfeiffer did a good job that time getting his head turned around. No pass interference on that, at least for what you can see.
And an illegal block called against the Vikings will back them up 15.
Can't chop block. They were anticipating that Shaw might take off on the draw. And so the front line went for the chop block there. Can't chop block like that. Illegal block below the knees. That's dangerous. You don't do those.
Jot, you want to talk about halftime adjustments? The Bowie defense has done a lot to contain Thomas. At the break, the Dallas Morning News credited him with 183 yards. Right now, he's listed at 203. That is just 20 second half rush yards for Lamar's number 20. They are clamping down on that run game.
Good front seven adjustments.
Shaw passing right side and in and out of the breadbasket of the intended target. Looking for Jakari Martin, and Caleb Pfeiffer saying no luck.
Good job by Pfeiffer. Back-to-back plays in that area. He's been able to get his head turned around. Trying to cut down on the pass interference penalties. 247. You got to be careful for a big pass here. You know it's coming. They need 30 yards, basically.
Cannot defensive hold, and you cannot commit pass interference to give Lamar a fresh set of downs. Just keep everything in front of you. You still have the 2-minute timeout, and Lamar still has all 3 of their timeouts. I think if they don't get it here, they may try to punt it away and play field position.
If you're Volunteers, Paragofi needs to be on the spy this whole play. Princeton Campbell needs to be 20 yards back.
Shaw with a swing pass. They're just trying to get some yards, and they may lose some. A swarming Bowie defense forces a loss of 2 and a 4th down.
Good defense there by the Volunteers. There's Paragofi. There's Haynes getting out there. There was a bobble on the swing pass. Now you're looking at 4th and a mile.
And it looks like Lamar is still out there. They may take it all the way down to the 2-minute timeout, Jot. They don't seem to be in any kind of a rush to get this 4th down play off.
That's interesting because if you punt it and give them the ball back, they have to run a play. The 2-minute timeout counts as a free timeout. So I don't know why you wouldn't punt it away there and try to do something to stop them with 2 minutes and some change left.
4th down and forever when we come back from the 2-minute timeout here at Choctaw Stadium.
Hey, this is John Wade Jr., Colt Football 97, class of 98. And the next time you have a roofing issue, be sure and call Arlington's favorite roofer, John Wade Roofing. Look us up on the internet at johnwaderoofing.com.
Fans, a reminder to stay tuned for the postgame show presented by John Wade Roofing at the immediate conclusion of this ball game, whenever it may conclude. We'll have some stats from this ball game as well as a preview of the rest of the district action that's going to take place tomorrow night on Halloween. Jot, you're going to be out trick-or-treating with your kiddo, so me and Pops will hold down the fort for Arlington versus Grand Prairie tomorrow. That game also on the Zap Network, but a happy Halloween to you and your family.
Happy Halloween to you too as well. Please be safe because Halloween does have those scary moments. I've seen them before. But everybody just be safe if you go trick-or-treating, enjoy the time, and eat a lot of candy. Plenty.
We've got a pretty sweet ball game going on here tonight as Bowie is in front by 7, and Lamar is indeed going to play field position as they send on their punt unit for a 4th and 23.
I'm quite interested in the reasoning behind it now. when you had 2 minutes, 20 seconds left to go at the end of that third down play, if I was Lamar, I possibly would have punted it, used the 2-minute warning as a timeout.
Speaking of timeout, it looks like Bowie's going to take a timeout to reset their special teams. We'll take it with them and be back right after this. Zach Arnold Productions is proud to service the greater Arlington and DFW area. With experience in broadcasting, podcasting, web series, public address, marketing, and public relations, Zach can help you tackle any modern communications task. Whether you need an announcer for your sporting event or just need help proofing a press release, be sure to call 817-319-2402 to see how you can find energetic media solutions for your task with Zach Arnold Productions. Two minutes to go in regulation. Lamar looking to use their 3 timeouts and try to force a stop and get the ball back rather than try to go for it on 4th and forever. Bowie playing it safe. They will let it go, and it will go all the way inside the 5. This is an absolutely terrific punt as Lamar's special teams unit touches it at the 6. Now it's up to Lamar's defense to get that ball back.
Special team unit almost cost Vikings 3 yards because that ball could have gone to about the 1 or 2 and given Bowie a very, very hard time to get out the end zone.
45-38 the score, a minute and 50 seconds to go. We'll keep it here for the remainder of this ball game. All of our commercials are spent. All of our bills are paid. From now on, it is just Jot, myself, and you folks at home. And Pops and Daniel.
Pops is here. He's been watching the whole game here with us.
2 receivers set, 2 running backs set from the 6. Ponder has it. Bounces off of a tackler, and he's got the first down and more. Ponder across the 30 before he's finally wrestled down.
He's wrestled down. Looks like he might have been out of bounds.
It looks like they pushed him out of bounds, so Lamar's strategy is still intact, but the field position changes ever so slightly now that you're out of the shadow of your own goalpost.
Yeah, it makes it a lot harder. If Lamar is able to get a stop here, force a 4th down punt, they will be farther back, closer to their goal line. But they have to get to that point first.
Ball officially spotted at the 34-yard line. Ponder's got it. Across the 40, and this time he stays in bounds as he picks up 12.
Back-to-back plays. Ponder is doing a good job finding the holes in the offensive line, running right behind him. Offensive line has shown up this second half to make life easier for Ponder.
Stopping the run on defense and emphasizing the run on offense. Bowie's ground game might just push them to 6-0 in district.
Clock's
1 minute, 10 seconds to go. This is the final series. Bowie letting it go all the way down. Under a minute to go. Handoff up the middle to the 48 and an immediate timeout called by Coach Skinner. Clock shows 51 seconds on the game clock as the Vikes trail by 7.
Coach Skinner is down there yelling at his defense. You need to stop him. You need to stop him. The Volunteers are doing a good job of pushing back this Viking front 7.
2 timeouts remaining. 2nd down and 8 near midfield. Jot, I have seen stranger things happen in high school football. It is still very possible for the Vikings to get this stop, get the ball back at about the 10-yard line, and make some sort of a miracle play happen. But they're going to need a lot of divine intervention or a little bit of voodoo on this Halloween weekend if they're going to pull this out.
We've had some voodoo earlier, and the voodoo failed. Hopefully, if you're the Volunteers, the voodoo falls for the Vikings. If you're Lamar has shown the ability to throw deep passes. One got dropped, but they did catch another one for a touchdown. So Bowie keeps that in the back of their mind. All Bowie has to do is get the first down. First down, and you end the game.
2 receivers, 2 tight ends. Ponder up the middle to midfield, and the clock stops again. Bowie able to melt another 2 or 3 seconds off of the clock there. 49 seconds to go in regulation. 1 timeout remaining for the Vikings. Officially listed at the 49-yard line. The line to gain is the 44. So this will be a 3rd down and 5 for the Volunteers.
Interesting to see if Bowie throws a bubble screen here on 3rd and 5, knowing that it's gotten them a lot of momentum, or maybe coming out in the split back set, sending Tennyson out like they've done in the 2 touchdowns that Tennyson has caught, just to leak out into the flat, just enough to get the 5 yards to get the 1st down.
The biggest 5 yards of the game upcoming here at the Feather of the Sea at Choctaw Stadium.
I see Tennyson out there. It'd be interesting to see if Bowie comes out in a split back set. I would look for a leak out somewhere just to get the 1st down and end the game.
Mad Max is split wide to the left. Kedrick Osunde Brown split wide to the right.
Press coverage by the Volunteers, by the Vikings.
Handoff. Ponder. Diving forward, and he might have it. The line judge is going to give him the 44 and the 1st down, and that will be the ball game.
Good fight by Ponder there, just enough to get the 1st down, kept the legs moving on contact, and now the Volunteers about to knee this ball away to get them a win, make next week's battle even more important.
Next week here on the Zap Network, Jot Holly will be on the call for the de facto district championship taking place between South Grand Prairie and these Bowie Volunteers. But due to the differences in enrollment, Bowie is going to lock up the Division II 1 seed tonight and will be hosting a playoff game in the 1st round. The question becomes, where do you play it? Do you play it here? Do you play it at UTA? Do you play it at the brand new Glaspie Field over on Martin's campus that's a little bit closer to Bowie's campus?
If you're Bowie, if it's me personally, you've had great success everywhere you've gone this season, but you've had more home games here. More home games here than you have at UTA, and you've had at Glaspie. That this is your proverbial home base for the season. I would think it would be here. For Lamar has to now figure out what happens next week. They need a lot of help to get into the playoffs, but first they got to win.
They'll have the Grand Prairie Gophers at the Gopher Bowl next week. All of the district games will be on a Thursday, so we'll know the playoff seedings by next Friday. But with this Lamar loss, there's going to have to be some incredible mathematics in order to send Arlington High to the postseason. This Lamar loss leaves Arlington as the potential odd man out in a 3-way tie between 4 and 3 squads.
If you're Arlington, the first thing you do is win. You win, and you let everything else figure itself out, because you don't know the outcome of tomorrow's game. Haltom and South Grand Prairie, that's going to tell you a lot as well. So if you're Arlington, all you can do is win.
Got to take care of what you can take care of. And I do have a fun factoid for all of you folks at home from our friend Yadi Pagan, who keeps up with Bowie statistics. With the win tonight, Coach Joseph Sam has now tied for the 3rd most wins in Bowie football program history. And he's done it in his 5th season. Congratulations to Coach Sam. Congratulations to the Volunteers on their victory tonight. Still a lot left to play for, a lot left to do, but they lock up the D2 1 seed tonight and look forward to a potential matchup of mutual undefeateds next week against South Grand Prairie. A lot of hurt feelings and some jawing taking place as Lamar was able to make a second half rally against Arlington, and it's Bowie who makes the halftime adjustments to come back and win here tonight as we go ahead and take you into the post-game show presented by John Wade Roofing. John Sr. played for Arlington High and was their team MVP in '76. He also played for TCU and UT Arlington football, earning all conference and conference champion honors. After playing for the Houston Oilers, he started roofing in 1982 and never looked back. His legacy on the gridiron is now matched by the legacy that the company has built in the community for over 40 years. The next time you have roofing needs or gutters, painting, solar, or more, call the family that does more at 817-265-5520. Jot, your overall impressions on tonight's game first.
The defense stepped up the second half, starting with Power Gophie, and then the front four on the defensive line. They stepped up after giving up 30 points and almost 200 yards rushing on the ground just to the running back from Lamar. The front four in Power Gophie and Castile stepped up to help the Vikings get a win. Next week, they have to do it again because Lucas is going to be one of the better running backs that they've seen. They took care of Robertson last week. They took care of business tonight in the second half. Now next, they got to take their attention to next week.
They allowed just 7 points in the second half, 1 touchdown in the third quarter, and completely shutting out the Vikings here in the fourth. Some stats from the Dallas Morning News as we hit final double zeros. 452 total yards of offense for Bowie, 450 for Lamar, about as evenly matched as you could possibly ask for. 211 yards and 3 scores for Jaden Bibbs on 22 of 27 passing. Jaden Shaw, his counterpart, went 12 for 18 for 135, 2 scores and an interception. Tyrone Thomas was coming out hot with 183 yards in the first half. He finishes with 204 as Denzel Ponder comes out strong in the second half, finishing with 188 yards on 20 carries and 3 trips to the house.
Offensive line, second half, stepped up for Ponder. The first half, Bibbs was everywhere. He had to use his legs. Ponder wasn't able to get anything going. Offensive line was getting constantly beat by the front four. And then the blitzes that Lamar was sending, second half, different story. Front 7 on the defense, front 5 on the offense, plus the tight ends, did everything they could to get Bowie the win. Good second half adjustments by the Volunteers.
So who would you give the player of the game presented by Trinity Logistics Services to? We had a lot of offensive firepower, but I'm also thinking about the interception that took place that kind of swung the momentum in Bowie's favor after they got that pick. They got the score and they had all the momentum, and it kind of changed the outcome of the game. But it's also hard to ignore almost 200 yards of rushing and 3 scores from Denzel Ponder. I'm leaning in his direction tonight.
I'm leaning towards Ponder. The interception by Princeton Campbell was a good interception, but that was caused by the blitz from Power Gophie and from the front four. They got to Shaw. That's what caused the interception. Ponder, second half, took things into his hands. The offensive line, he followed behind the offensive line. It's got to be Ponder for the player of the game.
So Denzel Ponder, your Trinity Logistics Services player of the game. There's not much of a scoreboard to give since pretty much all of the other district games are taking place tomorrow, including Martin back here at Choctaw against Sam Houston. Haltom is at South Grand Prairie, and our game on the Zap Network, the Grand Prairie Gophers at the Arlington Colts for their senior night. We hope that you all will tune in to that game and the rest of the games that we have to produce for you here on the Zap Network. We're looking forward to covering Bowie's postseason run, however deep that may go. But it starts with the de facto district championship next week against South Grand Prairie. Jot, any final thoughts before we call it a night here at Choctaw?
If you're the Vikings, hang your head. Don't hang your heads because you're still in the playoff. You're still in the playoffs hunt just because you didn't beat Bowie tonight. It hurts to lose to the team of the kids you've grown up playing against your whole life, from Optimist to junior high, now in high school, the North Side, South Side schools. So if you're Lamar, don't hang your heads. Come back next week and put up another good game. For Bowie, district championship or nothing next week. You're playing South Grand Prairie, who has ran through everybody in the district. They ran through Lamar. They ran through Arlington, and we were there for that. So if you're Bowie, a hard week of practice. Party tomorrow is Halloween. Do everything you can. Come back safe. You're ready to work on Monday.
Final score again in this one, Bowie 45, Lamar 38. For all of us at Zach Arnold Productions, including Pops, the producer, Daniel on the camera, and for Jot Holly, we thank you for supporting local football and local businesses by tuning into tonight's broadcast. But that's going to do it for us here at Choctaw Stadium.